Chapter 221-Black. The face of Sadie's beautiful legs attack. Feng Yi could only pull out the rein and do to resist. If he didn't use swordsmanship in close combat, it was not his strength. The long whip in his hand is also naturally released. It's actually black lace inside. Blocking Sadie's attack, Feng Yi's eyes quickly swept across the middle of Sadie's beautiful legs. His eyes lit up immediately, but he didn't expect that the inside of Sadie, who was wearing bright red, was actually black, and it was lace-edged. Feng Yi suddenly moved the chicken for a while. Damn satyr. Seeing Feng Yi's gaze, Sadie knew that Feng Yi saw Xiao Nei below her, and her pretty face couldn't help blushing. She scolded Feng Yi again with shame and anger, and the whip in her hand twitched up to Feng Yi. Haha, actually you look prettier if you don't wear anything inside. Hearing this, Feng Yi laughed out loud, and Yulu was attacking Sadie again and again. It looks very easy. Go to hell. Hearing Feng Yi's teasing words, Sadie only scolded and swung the whip in his hand to attack Feng Yi frantically. It's amazing. When Sadie really fought against Sheng Feng Yi, he realized how powerful Feng Yi is in his heart, and her attack was useless at all. A beautiful woman like you shouldn't fight and kill. You should enjoy the conquest of a man in bed, why not? How about we find a place to fight and see who wins and who loses? While blocking all of Sadie's attacks, Feng Yi said again and again with evil and charming chuckles. ... Damn satyr. Go to hell. Facing Feng Yi's molestation, Sadie only cursed in shame and anger, and the whip in his hand even more violently attacked Feng Yi. To fighting Feng Yi, Sadie's peripheral vision also noticed the situation of his subordinates. All of his subordinates were basically killed, which made Sadie's heart sink continuously. This is on the second floor. I wonder if Director Magellan will come to rescue them. If there is no rescue, their team will be finished. The director has ordered all the jailers to rush up. Why hasn't they arrived yet? Sadie secretly anxiously said in his heart. You are waiting for the reinforcements below, right? Don't wait, none of your subordinates will survive until they arrive. Sadie's expression, Feng Yi couldn't help but chuckle. Then I'll kill you and bury you with them. Sadie didn't expect Feng Yi to know what she was thinking. She was startled, and then she said angrily. Hurry up, there are more enemies coming up below. While blocking Sadie's attack, Feng Yi said to the instant killing them, he has already sensed that many enemies are coming. There are a lot of strong people in there. I won't play with you. When I break through the impel down, I'll go back and fight with you again. If you want to hear my moaning and moaning, it will depend on whether your waist is strong enough. He turned around and sealed the leaves. He said to Sadie, he didn't want to play with Sadie anymore. He got angry with his brother. The time and place were wrong, and it wasn't because he was looking for depression. So Feng Yi has decided to take down Sadie, just like Domino, go back and find them to fight on the bed. Damn color. Sadie's face changed again when he heard the words, and he screamed out in anger, but unfortunately he was stunned by Feng Yi before he finished speaking. Holding the unconscious Sadie, Feng Yi couldn't help but toss the bangs in front of her away, and his eyes lit up immediately. Originally, Feng Yi thought that Sadie's bangs were covering his face and eyes to hide his appearance. He didn't expect it to be a cover-up the charmingness of her pair of eyes. Even with her eyes closed, her entire face looks so charming. She is indeed a spoof and charming stunner. When Feng Yi brought down Sadie, he killed Nami in an instant and quickly killed all those marine jailers. Feng Yi said in his heart again, asking Yu Xin to wait and get Sadie onto the boat. The two beauties in Impel Down are here. Kill. Go down to the third floor and kill all the marines. Then Feng Yi spoke out coldly, and there were no more beautiful women left. Feng Yi didn't need to worry about anything, and then it was time to really open up and kill. Feng Yi's aura finally became full of murderous aura. Impel Down, he is absolutely going to destroy him. Whoever stands in front of him will be destroyed. Yes. Feeling the change in Feng Yi's aura, killing them in an instant has just killed so many people, all of which are full of murderous answers. Even Chiyu and Nami are the same. They are full of murderous aura, and they are also full of strange beauty. They are very charming. It's a pity that the time is not right, and Fengyi regrets it in his heart. Ho-a-ho. You group of invaders, if you want to enter the lower level, you must first defeat my great beast leader Sphinx. However, when Fengyi and the others came to the entrance of the third floor, they were blocked by a huge man-eating lion. Seeing such a big man-eating lion, Vivi was shocked to kill them in an instant, but he didn't worry about it. It was just a lion, and it was up to them to kill them. Come on, try my new move. Fengyi pulled out the rein and dew on his back, and said lightly, full of murderous intent. Michelle and the others, who originally wanted to take action, of course didn't say a word when they saw Fengyi take action. Haha, it turns out to be a little devil, and I'm not afraid that I will slap you flat with a slap. Seeing Fengyi standing up, Sphinx couldn't help laughing. He didn't know Fengyi's identity at all. He only knew that Fengyi was just a kid, or a swordsman. How old was he? At his age, how powerful his swordsmanship can be. So looking at Fengyi's expression, Sphinx's face was filled with disdain and drama. Humph, I'll let you know the consequences of what you said. Facing the words of the Sphinx, Fengyi was not angry, but said lightly and judged. 1,500 furious slashes. After Fengyi finished speaking, he stopped talking nonsense. The rain and dew in his hand slashed down towards the Sphinx from a distance. Dash 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 dash. Chapter 222-Hannibal. Chi chi chi. In an instant, under Fengyi's virtual slash, countless slashes erupted. A total of 1,500 slashes, pierced through the air, and all shot towards the Sphinx. In just an instant, Fengyi slashed out 1,500 slashes, and he slashed out in a state of rage, so Fengyi called this move 1,500 furious slashes. 1,500 slashes are also Fengyi's current limit. It would be great if I had another knife, so that I could perform 3,000 furious slashes. Looking at the magnificent 1,500 rage slashes in front of him, Fengyi couldn't help but murmur in his heart. I wondered if I should give myself another knife and realize my dream of double knife flow. What? Looking at the countless slashes in front of him, Sphinx was completely frightened, and he never thought that the kid who was despised by him could actually perform such a terrifying slash. Boom boom boom. The 1,500 furious slashes, regardless of the shock of Sphinx, slashed on his huge body one after another. Ah! Under the attack of 1,500 angry slashes, the Sphinx only had time to scream a few times, and the huge body was annihilated by the slashing one after another. Seeing Fengyi's attack, the Sphinx was killed in an instant, and they were also taken aback by killing them in an instant, a terrifying slash. Let's go. Fengyi ignored the shock of killing them instantly, seeing that the Sphinx was dead, and the entrance to the third floor also appeared. However, as expected, Fengyi's perception was not there. There were no enemies on the third floor. They were all brought to the second floor by Sadie, which means they had already killed them all. Go, the next floor. When Fengyi and the others entered the fourth floor of the big prison, they were greeted by countless marine jailers, and behind the huge army, there were 4 huge jailer beasts. Deputy Director Hannibal led the team. Magellan was not among them. Basically, the fighting power in the big prison, except Magellan did not appear, all converged on the 4th scorching layer of the Impel Down prison. Is it finally here? As long as I catch Captain Fengyi and the others, with such a big credit, I can take the position of the director. I must catch the Magellan guy before he finishes his diarrhea, or else the director will not have a chance for me to make a contribution. Seeing Fengyi and the others appearing in front of them, Hannibal's eyes lit up, and he murmured excitedly in his heart. Come on, catch these intruders for me. Then Hannibal ordered to everyone. Time was precious. He didn't want to talk nonsense with Fengyi and the others, although he wanted to thank Fengyi and others for giving him such an opportunity to make a contribution, but let's wait until you catch Fengyi and wait for someone else to talk about it. Yes. All the Marine Guards responded solemnly when they heard the words, and the Marine Guards in the front row all shot at Feng Yi and others immediately. The first few rows are all gun shooters. Bang 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 bang. Countless bullet marks suddenly shot towards Feng Yi and the others. 1,500 furious slashes. In the face of so many bullets, Feng Yi and the others did not change their expressions at all, full of cold killing. Feng Yi slashed out with a slash, and 1,500 slashes slashed towards those bullets. Thousands of consecutive cuts. Shiyu also gave a coquettish shout, and 1,000 slashes followed Feng Yi and slashed out. This can already be the limit of the rain. But it's also quite spectacular. That momentum is not weak at all for Feng Yi's slashes, and Feng Yi can only slash out 1,500 slashes when he is in a state of rage. Clouds wrap around. Fist of Fury. Quote. As for Nami and Nico Shang, they also took action one after another. The momentum of everyone added up to form an invincible momentum to oppress all Marine Guards. The powerful momentum and all the attacks are simply terrifying. The Marine Guards' guns were shot in front of such power, and the terrifying salvo did look so fragile at this time. Chi chi chi. All the bullets, just in an instant, were completely wiped out by the attack that sealed them. Chi chi. And the attack that seals them is slashing towards all Marine jailers. Those bullets are just offsetting a little bit of the attack. All Marine Guards changed drastically at the first time, especially the ones in front. They wanted to run away after throwing away their guns, but was it too late? Of course the answer is no. Boom boom boom. The attack of Feng Yi and others burst into the crowd of Marine Guards, and the lethality that erupted was absolutely shocking and terrifying all Marine Guards. I saw only Feng Yi's 1,500 furious slashes, and the knife marks flashed, and I don't know how many Marine Guards were beheaded. The stumps and hands were everywhere, and the blood was extremely bloody. Coupled with Shiyu's attack, more than 1,000 people in front of Marine Jailer were killed in an instant. Ah! My mom! Seeing such a bloody scene, the remaining Marine Guards were all panicked, and most of their legs were shaking. Obviously they were not too scared. As Marine, they didn't care if they died in battle, but it didn't matter. Suspenseful being beheaded, they are still very scared. There's absolutely no point in resisting the fight. Marine Jailer who was beheaded at that moment, and he was stunned in the world, and then he set off a monstrous anger. Ah! My soldiers! Hannibal cried out with great sadness. In his opinion, these soldiers are all his subordinates. When he takes the position of the director, they are all his subordinates alone. They were killed by Feng Yi. Of course he feeling extremely sad and angry. Kill. Then Hannibal shouted with anger and killing intent, and rushed towards the seal explosion himself. He wants to arrest Feng Yi and the others and imprison them. Kill. Chapter 223-No one left. In the face of Hannibal's rage, Feng Yi also snorted coldly, and all the enemies in front of him must be slaughtered. Leave none, kill. Feng Yi shouted again in a low voice. The amazing murderous aura swept out with Haki's tyrannical tyrant, and an amazing aura spread out with Feng Yi as the center, and some Marines who approached immediately passed out, although they were already very strong, but under the sudden outbreak of Feng Yi, he still couldn't bear those shocks. Of course, the enemy rushing up behind would not be so unbearable. Still able to withstand the shock of Haki, who was closing the leaves. Kill. 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 In an instant kill, Brother Michel and Nico Shang were also infected by the murderous aura emanating from Feng Yi, and with a low voice full of murderous aura, they rushed up to all the enemies. Although Nami and Shiyu were never born before, they exuded amazing killing intent. They all know that they need to capture Impel Down as soon as possible, just like attacking Eni's lobby, the speed must be fast, and Impel Down's defense force is much stronger than Eni's lobby, so it must be done as soon as possible. In the face of such a powerful Feng Yi and others this time, the General Marine Jailer did not take action, and moved out of the way to let the 4 jailer beasts behind him. Nami and Shiyu didn't want to kill so many people, so they picked 2 jailer beasts each. Those marine jailers are handed over to Setsuna to kill them. As for Feng Yi, he is also fighting with Hannibal. Hannibal still has a certain strength, otherwise it would be impossible to take the position of deputy director. In the original book, Luffy also opened the second gear to defeat Hannibal, which shows that Hannibal is powerful. However, in the face of Feng Yi, his strength is still very insufficient. At least compared with Marine Admiral, Hannibal's strength is much weaker. Damn, although I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to make meritorious deeds, but you have killed so many of my subordinates, I must kill you. While continuously attacking Feng Yi, Hannibal roared angrily. Humph. It's just you. You are weak and still dreaming of being the director. I will help you realize your dream now, and let you go to hell to do your director's dream. Hearing this, Feng Yi couldn't help snorting coldly. He was still roaring in front of him when he was weak, he was just courting death. Angry God destroys the sun. While snorting coldly in his mouth, the rain and dew in Feng Yi's hand condensed a strong and sharp sword energy on the blade, entered a violent state, and performed a slash that he created at will, slashing towards Hannibal. Kai. As soon as Feng Yi's words fell, a crimson slash shot up from the blade in Feng Yi's hand and slashed towards Hannibal. As the slash passed, the surrounding air was cut and twisted. Ah! Go to hell! Seeing Feng Yi's slash, Hannibal's eyes immediately shrank, and then he suppressed the fear in his heart, turned his fear into anger, and screamed at Feng Yi. Hit it hard! Boom! The crimson crescent-shaped slash collided with the weapon in Hannibal's hand in an instant, and the strong sword energy exploded. Get hurt. Well. When the seal saw that Hannibal actually blocked his slash, he couldn't help but be surprised. He obviously didn't expect Hannibal to block his slash. Haha, is that what your attack is like? Then look at me. After the slash of the seal, Hannibal was haha isho. Regardless of his trembling hands holding the weapon, he rushed towards Feng Yi. Humph. Would it be great to block my move? Seeing this, Feng Yi couldn't help sneering, and facing Hannibal who was rushing, he swung his knife and slashed again. Angry God double moon slash. Chi. This time, what Feng Yi slashed out was no longer a crimson crescent-shaped slash, but two. Crossed and slashed at Hannibal. Haha. Let me die. Hannibal, who had resisted Feng Yi's slash just now, saw Feng Yi's second attack and couldn't help but expand his confidence. Moon cut. Boom. However, this time, what made Hannibal unbelievable was that the weapon in his hand suddenly broke when he hit Feng Yi's slash. Don't cut it. No. Hannibal couldn't help but scream in horror, and after seeing Feng Yi's slash cut off his weapon, he continued to slash at him. He didn't have time to resist the defense at all. Chi. Two crimson crescent-shaped slashes, Chi, cut off the weapon in Hannibal's hand in unison, and then flashed through Hannibal's body again, penetrating through Hannibal's figure. Hannibal, who was rushing towards the defense at an extremely fast speed, stopped for a moment, forming a strong contrast. The expression on Hannibal's face was full of fear. The mouth is still wide open. Puff puff. One then on Hannibal's body, two astonishing pillars of blood spurted out crosswise. Hannibal screamed, and the whole figure fell backwards in unison. Boom. After falling to the ground, Hannibal's body continued to tremble, and the blood on his body was sprayed out, but in an instant, the place where Hannibal was lying was filled with blood. And Hannibal is also full of unwillingness to look in the direction of Feng Yi. Catch you. Hannibal looked at Feng Yi and said unwillingly. It seemed that before his death, Hannibal was still thinking about his position as the director. It was a pity that Feng Yi was not caught, and he received huge credit. Don't talk so much nonsense when you're dead. Feng Yi couldn't help sneering when he heard the words. The rain and dew in his hand slashed up, and a bloody slash cut the ground to face Hannibal, killing Hannibal who still had a breath. Ah. Dash 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 dash. Chapter 224 Jailer Beast. The deputy director is dead. That Captain Feng Yi is the devil. Everyone killed him to avenge the deputy director. Seeing that Hannibal was killed by Feng Yi, the marine guards all screamed in horror, and then shouted angrily, all rushed towards Feng Yi, and some of them killed them in an instant. As for the 4 jailer beasts, they were all entangled by Shiyu and Nami. Even if they wanted to go up and kill Feng Yi to avenge Hannibal, they couldn't do it. Besides, they didn't even want to avenge Hannibal. Feeling sad about death, naturally, I wouldn't say revenge. In front of them, they are facing their enemies nervously. Thunderclouds wrap around. Nami looked at the jailer beast koala and the jailer beast rhinoceros, and smiled lightly. Around her, black clouds intertwined with lightning, and lightning flew out, swept up towards the koala jailer beast and the rhino jailer beast. Roar! Roar! When the 2 jailer beasts saw Nami's attack, they both roared in fear, backed away, and attacked the flying thundercloud at the same time. To block those thunderclouds at a distance, otherwise, if they are approached, they will suffer. They have been electrocuted twice just now, and they are already very afraid of those lightning attacks. Chi-chi. The 2 chi energy blasted out from the mouths of the 2 jailer beasts and slammed into the thunder cloud released by Nami. Boom, boom. The thundercloud that Nami cast was blown away at once, but it did not dissipate, but condensed again and swept up against the 2 jailer beasts. Woo! Woo! The 2 jailer beasts couldn't help shouting out in anger and grievances. How could there be such a shameless attack? They can't even block, they can only wait for the other party's attack to hit them. It's too embarrassing. Chi-chi. Boom boom boom. However, no matter how the 2 jailer beasts screamed, the thundercloud displayed by Nami was fiercely entangled with the 2 jailer beasts, and then it continued to explode with thunder. A burst of thunder rang out. The 2 huge jailer beasts were struck by electric shocks again and again, filled with an interweaving of thunder and lightning. Soon the effect of the lightning entanglement disappeared, and the figures of the 2 jailer beasts flashed again this time. The way they looked at this time was as embarrassing as they were, and the hair on their bodies was charred black. The Renji attack they had just received was just a little lightning attack, but this time it was all filled. Woo! Woo! The 2 jailer beasts cried out in pain, but what came out of their mouths was a circle of black mist. In the eyes of the 2 jailer beasts, clear tears were also swirling. Looking at Nami, there is a look of prayer in her eyes. Well, those with a monthly pass will help you to the arrival of the evil emperor of Naruto. This. Looking at the pleading eyes of the 2 jailer beasts, Nami couldn't bear to do anything. Woo! Seeing that Nami did not continue to shoot, surprise flashed in the eyes of the 2 jailer beasts, and they hurriedly continued to pray. A pitiful look. Nami, ask them if they are willing to surrender to us, and kill us if they don't. When Nami was embarrassed and couldn't bear it, Feng Yi's figure appeared in front of Nami in a flash, and then said softly to Nami. Seeing the appearance of the 2 jailer beasts, Feng Yi also suddenly thought of it. He came to Impel Down this time to recruit his subordinates. It would be better if the 2 jailer beasts were willing to join. These are 2 powerful fighting forces. There are also 2 against Shiyu. If they are all subdued, they will become 4 powerful jailer beasts. Pirates without a bounty of over 100 million are not necessarily their opponents. Such subordinates do not accept nothing. I see. Nami couldn't bear to start. She heard the words and immediately cheered, and then she flashed towards the 2 jailer beasts. Under Nami's questioning, the 2 jailer beasts seemed to be thinking about it, but they both nodded. They were really afraid of Nami's ability. Even with Nami's cute smile, their eyes were full of fear. She was so choked with electricity that she was afraid of the rope after being bitten by a snake for 10 years. And when Nami subdued the koala jailer beast and the rhino jailer beast, the same thing happened to the 2 jailer beasts on Shigure's side. The cow jailer beast and the zebra jailer beast, both of them were equally tortured by the rain. Chi. I saw that under Shiyu's repeated bursts of slashes, the 2 jailer beasts only had the ability to dodge again and again, and they couldn't fight back at all. He was attacked by Shiyu again and again. If you can't dodge for a while, you will leave a bloody wound on your body. At this time, there were already as many as a dozen wounds on their bodies. If it wasn't for their amazing resilience, they would have fallen down long ago. But that's it. After seeing the koala jailer beast and the rhino jailer beast subdue Nami, the two jailermen quickly looked at Shiyu with pleading eyes. They also don't want to be beaten down by one. The strength of these people in front of them has already made them feel that there is no problem with Magellan, so they are not afraid of surrender. If they can't feel their strength, the jailer beasts will not surrender, because as long as they can't pass the Magellan level, Feng Yi and the others have to finish the game. So they also want to surrender when they see Feng Yi can kill Hannibal with 2 moves, and Nami Shiyu's strength. Otherwise, forget about it. While fighting, Shiyu naturally saw Nami subduing the 2 jailer beasts. Now that she saw the eyes of the 2 jailer beasts she was facing, she immediately understood what was going on. Looking back at Feng Yi, seeing Feng Yi nod, Shiyu subdued the 2 jailer beasts. Don't let me know that you surrendered falsely, or you will only die worse. Facing the 4 jailer beasts, Feng Yi couldn't sense their emotions too much. Because they were beasts, the mood fluctuations were not so obvious, so Feng Yi could only warn the 4 jailer beasts lightly. Hearing Feng Yi's words, the pupils of the 4 jailer beasts all shrank from Vivi. They clearly knew Feng Yi's strength, so they didn't dare to think, and nodded repeatedly to show that they knew. Show obedience. Chapter 225-surrender. Ah! The jailer beasts have all been surrendered. How is it possible? Now we'll be even more screwed. Seeing the 4 jailer beasts were actually surrendered, those marine jailers, all of them screamed in horror. They were already desperate enough, facing such a powerful enemy in the camera. I didn't expect that even their side was powerful this time. With just enough fighting power, the 4 mighty jailer beasts actually surrendered. This is how they fight. For a time, all the marine guards were filled with despair. Hannibal was killed, the 4 prison guards surrendered, and the only strong man on their side was Magellan, and of course there was a guard who was imprisoned. Shiryu of the Long Reign, but it was locked up, so it couldn't help them fight at all. Then kill them for me, hurry up, Magellan is coming up. Marine guards. Feng Yi saw the expressions of the 4 guard beasts and then ordered them to participate in the killing of the marine guards. The 4 jailer beasts obviously didn't expect Feng Yi to even know Magellan when he came up, and nodded in surprise at the same time. Anyway, they didn't have the slightest resistance to killing Marine's jailers. Roar roar. Afterwards, they roared a few times and charged towards the marine guards, killing them. Ah! Don't! Help me! Marine jailers who were not strong enough finally collapsed, screaming and running away. The powerful ones on their side were either killed or surrendered. What else could it be if he continued to fight instead of courting death? Under the leadership of some marine guards, just in an instant, more than half of the marine guards were scattered, not to mention Hannibal's revenge, nor to resist. The breach of the big prison impel down is no longer their business now, they just want to run away. But even so, there are still half of the marine guards gritted their teeth firmly. It can be seen how strong the quality of these marine guards is. Boom boom boom. Puff puff puff. Chi chi chi. However, no matter how strong the quality is, facing the slaughter of the 4 jailer beasts that killed them in an instant, they couldn't resist, and they were slaughtered again and again. As for those who escaped, they died even worse. Because they have already escaped, the power of their minds has been greatly weakened. Teru Kongming can kill them with ordinary emotional bombs. Therefore, any marine jailer who escapes will often end up running a few steps away, and the whole hole will be destroyed. Blast exploded. Good. Ha ha. Good kill. Marine guards are dying soon. Good kill. And the prisoner pirates on the 4th floor, seeing the situation of the battle at this time, also woke up from their stun, and roared with excitement. But on the next side, their pupils shrank in unison, and they shut their mouths in horror. As if a terrifying existence is coming. Who is it? I saw that under the terrified gazes of all the pirate prisoners, a tall figure appeared with a huge chopper on his back. It's Shiryu of the Rain. God, the devil who kills prisoners without blinking. A demon that kills several prisoners every day, whether Gao or not. Then the pirate prisoners exclaimed the name of the person who came. It was Shiryu, the great guard of the Impel Down, who was detained on the 6th floor as a dangerous person because of his cruel personality. It was released. It must have been released by Magellan. Ah. Magellan is here too. Not good. Immediately afterwards, they saw a stream of green venom emerge from below, and immediately knew that even the director Magellan had appeared, and everyone was terrified. It's the director here. And the warden. Now we are saved. The pirate prisoners were terrified, and the marine guards who were still resisting really cheered. At this time, they still have nearly 2,000 people resisting, and all of them are the elites of the elite. Even if they kill them all in an instant, it is not so fast. Shiryu, that big guy is handed over to you. Seeing the appearance of Shiryu of the Rain, Fengyi said to Shiryu. Shiryu of the Rain is also a great swordsman, and his strength is not low. Shiryu is not necessarily an opponent, but Fengyi believes that such an opponent is what Shiryu wants, because if Shiryu wants to make further progress, he can only challenge such a level. Strong. Okay, that big guy's life is my mother's. Shiryu of Rain, her beautiful eyes were staring at each other with war intent. When she heard Fengyi's words, she immediately responded with excitement, and her figure burst towards Shiryu of Rain. Shiryu in his hand also condensed a strong sword energy and smashed it, and slashed towards Shiryu of the Rain with an extremely ferocious aura. Humph! A female swordsman dares to do anything with me. She has no habit of not killing women after my sword class. Seeing Shiryu rushing towards him, Shiryu of the Rain was also slightly stunned, but he didn't expect a woman to rush towards him, followed by the cruel Isho. He wouldn't be merciful just because the other party was a woman. There were already many women who died in his hands, and killing a woman was even more novel to him. Man, he's about to get tired of killing him. And the woman in front of him is still a great swordsman, and the killing intent in Shiryu's heart is even stronger. Kai. Shiryu of the Rain, he couldn't wait to pull out the sword in his hand, and slashed at Shiryu who was rushing towards him. The powerful sword energy also condensed on his sword body in an instant, and its intensity was so strong. Before Shiryu is not at all, it will be much stronger. Boom. Chapter 226-Shiryu of the Rain. Then Shiryu and Shiryu's slashes collided fiercely, and the powerful sword force exploded in all directions. In the 2 weeks around, whether it was Marine Jailer or Nico Bear's crew pirates, they were all killed. Accidentally injured, some who got too close were directly beheaded. Boom. Then the figures of Shiryu and Shiryu of the Rain burst out, but Shiryu of the Rain only retreated 2 steps away, but Shiryu stepped back 4 or 5 steps in a row, and you can see the level of the two at a glance. Come again, eat the old lady's trick again. However, facing the mighty Shiryu of Rain, Shiryu was not only not surprised, on the contrary, he shouted excitedly and slashed at Shiryu of Rain again. Boom boom boom. Then Shiryu and Shiryu of the Rain quickly slashed together and fought together. Shiryu was obviously at a disadvantage. There was a series of riots around the two of them, and the pirates and marine had long since walked away, and it would be too wrong to stay there and be accidentally injured. Shiryu, your advantage is dexterity and speed, you don't have to fight with him. Watching Shiryu's battle, Fengyi couldn't help reminding Shiryu is still a woman after all, and her strength and energy is not enough for men, but women also have advantages that men don't have, that is, they are dexterous and more flexible than men. Men are much stronger. If Shiryu wants to go on the road of the great swordsman, he can only use his own advantages to create a path that suits him. Yes, I don't have to fight with him. My road to a great swordsman is dexterity, not brute force. When Shiryu heard Fengyi's words, her eyes immediately lit up. Although she had heard Fengyi say it before, she didn't understand it that way now. Now she was fighting with Shiryu of the Rain, and she suddenly woke up and knew where she was going. The original decision was indeed right. It wasn't Fengyi. I couldn't become a great swordsman at all, and I couldn't comprehend my own swordsmanship. Shiryu couldn't help sighing in his heart. When he went to find Tashigi, Fengyi found him, and then he was forced on him. How wise it seems to Shiryu now. Whoosh whoosh. Shiryu of the Rain, while taking advantage of his own advantages, not to slash head-on with Shiryu of the Rain. But just at the beginning, Shiryu couldn't play well, many people didn't realize it, and they would still be forced to slash together. But as long as the fight goes on, Fengyi believes that Shiryu will defeat Shiryu of the Rain. Nami, Rain, indecent to Magellan below. Then Fengyi spoke out to Nami. At this time, it would be bad to let Magellan come up, but Fengyi is not afraid at all. Nami's rain keeps falling, Magellan will not be able to come up. Even if he does, he will just lose. He who has the ability to fruit is nothing but Magellan who has lost the ability to fruit, which means that it is not the case. Good. Seeing that Shiryu lost to Shiryu, Nami originally wanted to support Shiryu, but when she heard Fengyi's words, she knew that it was more important to stop Magellan from coming up, so she quickly displayed a cloud of rain, facing the channel as pouring rainwater violently. Chi chi chi. Under the watering of rain, the green venom that emerged from the channel suddenly boiled, and then it was dissolved little by little under the rain. What an incredible scene! Venom is actually afraid of water. This is because the fruit's ability is just restrained by the sea water, so there will be such an unreasonable scene. Ah! Damn! Damn! Ah! Bastard! Damn! After Nami poured a lot of rain into the channel and wiped out all the venom that Magellan emerged from, Magellan's furious voice came from below. At this time, Magellan is still in a room on the 5th floor, squatting in it to solve his major life events, diarrhea. Magellan originally wanted to rush up, but he happened to have a stomach attack. As long as he released Shiryu of the Rain first, his venom followed, who knew that his venom was doused with seawater and retreated back. Magellan, who quickly stood up and put on his trousers, didn't even bother to wipe his buttocks. His figure turned into a poisonous dragon and rushed up to the 4th floor angrily. He wanted to see who was so abhorrent and poured it down with seawater. Channel, so that he can't go up for a while. Magellan also knew the fact that his subordinates were slaughtered, so he was extremely angry. When Impel Down was attacked by the enemy to this extent, he would be destroyed. Chi chi chi. What's the matter? However, when Magellan himself came to the passage that rushed to the 4th floor, he quickly stopped his figure in a chain, because after the passage, the seawater did not continue to emerge, and he wanted to go up from here, obviously impossible. Damn! It's the weather fruit navigator Nami. Immediately after that, Magellan knew what was going on. He had long known that there was Nami on the Maple Leaf Pirates who knew how to bring down seawater and rain, but he didn't pay too much attention, and only remembered this time. His brows furrowed immediately. If the seawater above keeps coming up, he will not be able to go to the 4th floor at all, and he will not be able to support his men. Asshole! Thinking that all his subordinates are fighting bloody battles, and he can't go up to support them, they are still waiting for him. Thinking of Magellan is very angry, but there is nothing else to do. Even if he wants to rush up, he can't be rushed. You bastards, all of you are going to die. I'll give you a taste of the poison. With an indignant scolding, Magellan turned around and left, went to the elevator, took the elevator to go directly to the 3rd floor, and then went down to the 4th floor from the 3rd floor. Magellan did not want to sit directly on the 4th floor, because there was definitely also blocked. But thinking that it was not so soon, and that a few minutes were wasted, Magellan was indignant. Whoosh! Then Magellan's figure rushed in the direction of the elevator. Nami, you can stop now. Can clearly perceive the reaction of Magellan's movements. After knowing that Magellan did not come up, he said to Nami. With a sneer in my heart, Magellan, by the time you come down from the 3rd floor, all your subordinates will be dead. Chapter 227-God of Fury. Body of Rage. Summons. Then the reaction was a low voice with cold eyes, and the bodies of anger all shone out from the bodies of the 4 jailer beasts. There are also instant kills. Nico Shang and the others, too, they summon 10 angry bodies at the same time, which is also the limit of Fengyi. Hoo hoo hoo. The appearance of 10 wrathful bodies is a nightmare for the marine jailers who are still resisting. They were already at a disadvantage, with constant casualties, and suddenly there are 4 jailer beasts, 6 powerful enemies, including the angry bodies of Nami and Feng Yi. And Nami has also joined the battlefield. The casualties of Marine's jailers have skyrocketed in a terrifying Sudoku. Humph. 1,500 furious slashes. Angry god destroys the sun. The sigh of death. Bloodthirsty extermination. And Feng Yi himself snorted coldly. His figure also charged towards the marine jailers who were still resisting. The rain and dew in his hand slashed out in one move, reaping the lives of the marine jailers. Feng Yi, it is to kill all these marine jailers before Magellan arrives, within the effective time of the body of anger, within 5 minutes. Puff, puff. Ah 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 ah. In the slaughter of Feng Yi and others, a series of screams resounded, and countless marine jailers died one after another, facing more than a dozen enemies with a bounty of more than 100 million and 8 powerful jailers. The slaughter of beasts, their resistance is simply a joke. Ah. Why hasn't the director come yet? We're all finished. Too strong, too terrifying. Are we going to die? Ah. The face of Feng Yi and the others' powerful slaughter, the marine prisoners all fell into despair, but in desperation, they did not become decadent, but burst out with stronger fighting power to fight with Feng Yi and the others. It didn't work at all, but they were still working hard. 1 minute has passed. The marine guards were killed to about 2,000. 3 minutes passed, and the marine guards were killed to about 1,000 people. 5 minutes passed, and the marine guards were killed with only about 100 people left. All they needed was one more blow to kill them all. Bang bang bang. At this time, Feng Yi summoned a body of anger, and it dissipated at the same time. Boom. At the same time, a huge poisonous dragon also rushed down from the 3rd floor. Ah! You all should be damned. Seeing the miserable state of the 4th scorching layer, Magellan roared angrily for the first time. His eyes were extremely red, and all his subordinates were killed in battle, and there were only less than 100 people left. This kind of blow, how could Magellan not be angry? The anger in his heart suddenly erupted like thousands of volcanoes, fierce and powerful. It's the director. Here comes the director. Great, we are saved now. And those marine guards, who had less than 100 people left, heard Magellan's angry voice, but they were all surprised. They subconsciously thought that as long as Magellan came, they would be saved. Magellan was in their hearts. Unrivaled. Humph. 1,500 rage slashes. Feng Yi watched Magellan's appearance and saw the cheers of the marine jailers. One powerful slash was released, and hundreds of people were shrouded in countless slashes. No. Seeing this, Magellan immediately shouted out in anger, and the figure of the poisonous dragon rushed up. Seeing Feng Yi's attack, Magellan cried out in anger. Under this blow, how many of his remaining subordinates could survive? Therefore, Magellan immediately rushed up to Feng Yi Bang, trying to intercept Feng Yi's attack. Humph. Rage bomb, blow me up. Seeing Magellan rushing up, the subscription was not surprised but happy. Vivi sneered at the corner of his mouth, and then snorted. No, it's an emotional bomb. As soon as Magellan rushed to the way, he felt that his anger was soaring at a terrifying speed, and he was immediately horrified, knowing that this was Feng Yi's ability. Kai. There was no other way. Magellan had to stop his figure, constantly suppressing his soaring anger. This is what Marine Headquarters analyzed and gave him, the only way to resist emotional bombs. It actually resisted the emotional bomb. As expected of Magellan. Humph, but this way, can you still protect your subordinates? Feng Yi didn't expect Magellan to resist his emotional bomb. He couldn't help but exclaimed in surprise, and then sneered. Magellan stopped to resist his emotional bomb, so he couldn't rescue the marine prisoner. Feng Yi was about to blow up halfway. Magellan's, it seems impossible, but Feng Yi will immediately formulate the next strategic plan. Puff puff. Chi chi chi. When Feng Yi's words fell, sure enough, those marine jailers were horrified to discover that their director Magellan was too late to save him, and they could only watch the knife marks slash through their body. Ah 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 ah. Then countless screams resounded, and under Feng Yi's 1,500 furious slashes, none of the marine guards were left, and they were all killed by Feng Yi's one move. Ah! Damn! Chapter 228-Magellan just resisted Feng Yi's emotional bomb and opened his eyes to see such a scene. Magellan suddenly burst into rage, and the anger that he had just suppressed was soaring. It's just that the time for Feng Yi's emotional bomb has passed, otherwise Magellan must be killed. However, after the past, Feng Yi can still cast another one. Haha, get angry, I see if you are calm enough to resist my anger bomb. Feng Yi looked at the roaring Magellan, couldn't help laughing, and then shouted again. Angry bomb, explode it for me. Boom boom boom. After Feng Yi's words fell, a rumbling sound finally rang out. Magellan himself was in a state of rage, and he couldn't resist Feng Yi's anger bomb. Angry, the entire figure, in the excited eyes of all the pirates, exploded and exploded again and again, but Feng Yi cast 3 angry bombs on Magellan's emotions at once. The pirate prisoners in the prison were stunned for a while. After Magellan appeared, they were extremely worried about Feng Yi and the others. After Magellan exploded, the figure turned into a cloud of poisonous mist and scattered. Nami, rain. Knowing that Magellan was not so easily killed by his own anger bomb, he shouted at Nami. Good. Nami also knew that Magellan was the strongest being here, and if one was accidentally poisoned, it would be over, so after the reaction was delayed, a cloud of mist flew over Magellan, and then the seawater and rainwater burst down. Chi chi chi. It can be seen with the naked eye that under Nami's rain, the venom scattered around was eroded again, and lians made a sound, and then turned into a poisonous mist and dissipated, and the contrasting scene appeared again. Ah! The venom of the incarnation was eroded by the rain, and Magellan's screams sounded again and again, and then everyone saw the venom of Magellan's incarnation rushed together, and then recondensed. Cough cough. It's just that Magellan, who had condensed his body shape, bent down and coughed in pain, spitting out blood, and he was seriously injured by the angry bomb of Feng Yi's folk song. In addition, he was seriously injured by Nami's rain. It is undoubtedly more serious, and now the rain is all over the body, and even the fruit ability can't be exerted. It's possible. Shiryu of the Rain, who was fighting with Shiyu in the distance, saw Magellan's tragic state and couldn't help staring at him. He couldn't believe that Magellan, as powerful as Magellan, was crippled by Feng Yi and a woman. Humph. Seeing Shiryu of the Rain fighting against himself, he dared to be distracted. Shiyu couldn't help but snorted, not letting go of such an opportunity. Shiryu in his hand slashed in a light arc in an instant, and Shiryu of the Rain did not react yet. Or if he didn't react in time, he slashed Shiryu of the Rain on the shoulder. Puff. Ah. Damn. Unexpectedly, he was slashed by a woman who was weaker than himself just because he was careless. Shiryu of the Rain suddenly became angry and ignored Magellan. However, Shiyu, who has gradually realized his own path of kendo, does not confront Shiryu of the Rain at all. No matter how powerful Shiryu of the Rain is, he will not be able to hit Shiyu with a single move. On the contrary, Shiyu, who is weaker than Shiryu of Rain, uses his unique swordsmanship to lightly and repeatedly inflict wounds on Shiryu of Rain. With the maturity of Shiyu Kendo, the wounds on Shiryu's body are increasing. At this time, Magellan took a breath and stood up, looking at Feng Yi and Nami with anger and fear. If only Feng Yi was alone, he would still have information to fight, but with Nami, he couldn't even use the fruit ability, so he didn't need to fight at all. If only Nami was alone, he wasn't afraid, but he took advantage of the terrain. Familiarity and speed, otherwise the rain will get drenched, but when the two of them are added together, he is really desperate. Impel Down, which has never been breached, seems to be destroyed in the era of its own rule of Impel Down. Magellan, you know, you're finished. How about changing careers as a pirate? I can form a pirate group for you, as long as you become my pirate group. Seeing Feng Yi's attack, Magellan cried out in anger. Under this blow, how many of his remaining subordinates could survive? Therefore, Magellan immediately rushed up to Feng Yi Bang, trying to intercept Feng Yi's attack. Humph. Rage bomb, blow me up. Seeing Magellan rushing up, the subscription was not surprised but happy. Vivi sneered at the corner of his mouth, and then snorted. No, it's an emotional bomb. As soon as Magellan rushed to the way, he felt that his anger was soaring at a terrifying speed, and he was immediately horrified, knowing that this was Feng Yi's ability. Kai. There was no other way. Magellan had to stop his figure, constantly suppressing his soaring anger. This is what Marine Headquarters analyzed and gave him, the only way to resist emotional bombs. It actually resisted the emotional bomb. As expected of Magellan. Humph, but this way, can you still protect your subordinates? Feng Yi didn't expect Magellan to resist his emotional bomb. He couldn't help but exclaimed in surprise, and then sneered. Magellan stopped to resist his emotional bomb, so he couldn't rescue the marine prisoner. Feng Yi was about to blow up halfway. Magellan's, it seems impossible, but Feng Yi will immediately formulate the next strategic plan. Puff puff. Chi chi chi. When Feng Yi's words fell, sure enough, those marine jailers were horrified to discover that their director Magellan was too late to save him, and they could only watch the knife marks slash through their body. Ah 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 ah. Then countless screams resounded, and under Feng Yi's 1,500 furious slashes, none of the marine guards were left, and they were all killed by Feng Yi's one move. Chapter 229-boom boom. Ah. Damn. Just resisted Feng Yi's emotional bomb and opened his eyes to see such a scene. Magellan suddenly burst into rage, and the anger that he had just suppressed was soaring. It's just that the time for Feng Yi's emotional bomb has passed, otherwise Magellan must be killed. However, after the past, Feng Yi can still cast another one. Haha, get angry, I see if you are calm enough to resist my anger bomb. Feng Yi looked at the roaring Magellan, couldn't help laughing, and then shouted again. Angry bomb, explode it for me. Boom boom boom. After Feng Yi's words fell, a rumbling sound finally rang out. Magellan himself was in a state of rage, and he couldn't resist Feng Yi's anger bomb. Angry, the entire figure, in the excited eyes of all the pirates, exploded and exploded again and again, but Feng Yi cast 3 angry bombs on Magellan's emotions at once. The pirate prisoners in the prison were stunned for a while. After Magellan appeared, they were extremely worried about Feng Yi and the others. After Magellan exploded, the figure turned into a cloud of poisonous mist and scattered. Nami, rain. Knowing that Magellan was not so easily killed by his own anger bomb, he shouted at Nami. Good. Nami also knew that Magellan was the strongest being here, and if one was accidentally poisoned, it would be over, so after the reaction was delayed, a cloud of mist flew over Magellan, and then the seawater and rainwater burst down. Chi chi chi. It can be seen with the naked eye that under Nami's rain, the venom scattered around was eroded again, and Lian's made a sound, and then turned into a poisonous mist and dissipated, and the contrasting scene appeared again. Ah! The venom of the incarnation was eroded by the rain, and Magellan's screams sounded again and again, and then everyone saw the venom of Magellan's incarnation rushed together, and then recondensed. Cough cough. It's just that Magellan, who had condensed his body shape, bent down and coughed in pain, spitting out blood, and he was seriously injured by the angry bomb of Feng Yi's folk song. In addition, he was seriously injured by Nami's rain. It is undoubtedly more serious, and now the rain is all over the body, and even the fruit ability can't be exerted. It's possible. Shiryu of the rain, who was fighting with Shiyu in the distance, saw Magellan's tragic state and couldn't help staring at him. He couldn't believe that Magellan, as powerful as Magellan, was crippled by Feng Yi and a woman. Humph. Seeing Shiryu of the rain fighting against himself, he dared to be distracted. Shiyu couldn't help but snorted, not letting go of such an opportunity. Shiryu in his hand slashed in a light arc in an instant, and Shiryu of the rain did not react yet. Or if he didn't react in time, he slashed Shiryu of the rain on the shoulder. Puff. Ah. Damn. Unexpectedly, he was slashed by a woman who was weaker than himself just because he was careless. Shiryu of the rain suddenly became angry and ignored Magellan. However, Shiyu, who has gradually realized his own path of kendo, does not confront Shiryu of the Rain at all. No matter how powerful Shiryu of the Rain is, he will not be able to hit Shiryu with a single move. On the contrary, Shiryu, who is weaker than Shiryu of Rain, uses his unique swordsmanship to lightly and repeatedly inflict wounds on Shiryu of Rain. With the maturity of Shiryu Kendo, the wounds on Shiryu's body are increasing. At this time, Magellan took a breath and stood up, looking at Feng Yi and Nami with anger and fear. If only Feng Yi was alone, he would still have information to fight, but with Nami, he couldn't even use the fruit ability, so he didn't need to fight at all. If only Nami was alone, he wasn't afraid, but he took advantage of the terrain. Familiarity and speed, otherwise the rain will get drenched, but when the two of them are added together, he is really desperate. Impel Down, which has never been breached, seems to be destroyed in the era of its own rule of Impel Down. Magellan, you know, you're finished, how about changing careers as a pirate? I can form a pirate group for you, as long as you become my pirate group. Yes, there is also the She-Male King in 5.5% of the big prison, who almost forgot his existence. After entering the 5th floor, and sensing those emotional fluctuations, Feng Yi then remembered what he had forgotten. It was the She-Male King Ivankov. A person with hormone fruit ability, a person who created an extra layer of the big prison, a partner of the revolutionary dragon, who was arrested by Marine on and trumped up charge. I worked so hard to destroy everyone in the big prison, and the She-Male King didn't even come out. HMPH, do you think our pirates can't destroy Impel Down? Feng Yi, who was standing on the 5th floor, couldn't help but snorted. It was impossible for the She-Male King not to know about his attack on Impel Down. He didn't come out to cooperate with the escape. Obviously, he looked down on their Maple Leaf pirates being able to destroy Impel Down. Huh, we already knew that Impel Down was wiped out by us, so did you come out? Immediately afterwards, Feng Yi sensed that those emotional fluctuations were coming up to the 5th floor, and he couldn't help but let out a small sigh, then stayed where he was and did not continue to go down to the 6th floor. Soon, while Feng Yi was waiting, Ivankov, the She-Male King, showed up with everyone in his She-Male Kingdom, as well as Revolutionary Lightning. Scissors Fruit Ability. The legendary She-Male King is really sharp. Looking at the She-Male King in red and stockings, Feng Yi couldn't help but sweat in his heart, and he felt a chill in his heart. He originally wanted to deal with the She-Male King, but he was no longer in the mood. Impel Down has been completely wiped out by the Maple Leaf pirates. If you want to leave, you can get a marine battleship to leave, so you don't need to thank me. Chapter 230 She-Male King. When the She-Male King came up with a vote of people, Feng Yi just said to the She-Male King Ivankov, and then walked away and left. There are not only the She-Male King, but also human demons. Feng Yi can accept it. If you don't want to have such visual trauma, you don't want your eyes to be polluted, so you should leave quickly. So strong. The male hormones on the body are so strong, no wonder they can break through the Impel Down. She-Male King Ivankov watched Feng Yi leave a sentence and continued to go to the next floor. He couldn't help but stunned, and then murmured, he sensed the powerful male hormones in Feng Yi. But why doesn't he seem to see us? She-Male King Ivankov doesn't mean to unravel Feng Yi. How does he know that Feng Yi is completely discriminating against these she-males? People in this world don't discriminate against she-males very much, but the she-males really cannot identify with Feng Yi. People. The same-sex Feng Yi can't accept it, let alone the she-male, but, well, the same-sex lily between beauties and beauties is still acceptable. In this way, Feng Yi met the legendary She-Male King, but he didn't say a word. The She-Male King took all the demons who worshipped him and left soon. Feng Yi also ordered Shishiu and them to let the She-Male King and others leave. The Maple Leaf pirates do not need such a pirate. Feng Yi entered the 6th floor of the big prison, and soon attracted the attention of all the big pirates inside. Not Marine. How can it not come in Marine? Little devil, who are you? Why are you allowed in? Quote. One after another voices came from the cells on both sides, and they questioned Feng Yi. They saw that Feng Yi was no longer a marine prisoner, and he had the symbol of being a pirate on his body. But how could the pirates enter the 6th floor of Impel Down safely? Newly locked in. He didn't walk in like this, right, but he's just a kid, so powerful that he's imprisoned on the 6th floor. Anyway, the big pirates on the 6th floor were all suspicious about the appearance of Feng Yi. They were on the 6th floor, and they didn't know what happened above, and they didn't know everything in Impel Down. Marine guards have all been wiped out by the Maple Leaf Pirates. Shut me all up. Facing the questioning of more than a dozen big pirates, VV's brows could not help but wrinkle, and then he let out a cold snort. Boom. Then a powerful hockey of the monstrous ocean wave erupted from Feng Yi's body and instantly swept the 6th floor of the entire big prison. Those big pirates who felt the powerful hockey on Feng Yi's body all widened their eyes and looked at Feng Yi in shock. How is this possible? A kid with such a strong hockey. Still conqueror hockey, quote. A shocked voice could not help but sound. Feng Yi's words seemed to have no effect on them. Although they felt the impact of Feng Yi's powerful hockey, it didn't matter much. Even if some of them were ability people, their ability was sealed, and they would not be shocked by Feng Yi's hockey. Just shock them. However, 2 of the weaker ones were already intimidated. They did not continue to speak out, but their faces were full of horror. Such a tyrannical hockey, they had only felt it from the 4 emperors. Introduce yourself first, Captain of the Maple Leaf Pirates. Seeing the appearance of the 14 big pirates, Feng Yi's brows couldn't help but wrinkle a little, so let's start by introducing himself. I believe that after they know their bounty, they will definitely be deterred. Hearing Feng Yi's words, the 14 big pirates froze for a while. The Maple Leaf Pirates, they have never heard of it, it seems that they are a rising rookie. The bounty, 800 million Baileys. However, when Feng Yi said the next sentence, the contempt in their eyes completely disappeared, replaced by horror and disbelief. What? 800 million bounty. It's 400 million more than Lao Su. How is this possible? Exclamations rang out in horror, and among the 14 big pirates, none of them dared to believe what Feng Yi said, and felt impossible from the bottom of my heart. The 800 million bounty has already reached the level of the 4 emperors. How is it possible for a pirate to emerge as a rookie? Didn't you just ask me how I got here? Let me tell you, that's because this place, the Impel Down, has been broken by our Maple Leaf Pirates. All marine jailers in Impel Down, including the director Magellan and Shiryu, the guardian of the Long Reign, are all dead. Ah! How is it possible? Impel Down was wiped out. When they heard Feng Yi's words, the first reaction of all the big pirates was to disbelieve, but what if they didn't believe it? Feng Yi's presence on the 6th floor without any marine jailer in front of him already proved that everything was true. Otherwise, a pirate will never be able to enter the 6th floor quietly and safely. Fishman with blue skin inside. It was Jinbei, one of Shichibukai's sea heroes. Hexia Jinbei, a peace-loving pirate. Feng Yi knew that it was absolutely impossible to subdue such a person. Jinbei had his own principles, maintained peace, and did not want to see any kind of war happen, and Feng Yi had provoked 2 wars in a row, so Jinbei didn't need to ask. Feng Yi also knew that the other party would never join his banner. Although recruiting a Shichibukai was very cool, Feng Yi wouldn't even try if there was no possibility. Haisha Jinbei, as long as you promise me one thing, I can let you go. Looking at Hexia Jinbei, Feng Yi then said lightly. What request? Jinbei's mood didn't fluctuate much after hearing the words, and asked Feng Yi, if he asked too much, he would rather be imprisoned here forever. However, he was still shocked by Feng Yi in front of him. At such a young age, he had already offered a reward of 800 million Bailey. It must be said that it was very shocking. Even he was shocked. Chapter 231-Let Go of Jinbei. There will be places where my Maple Leaf Pirates will appear in the future, as long as you don't come out and get in the way. Looking at Jinbei, Feng Yi said indifferently. Feng Yi still admires Jinbei and doesn't want to kill him, but he also doesn't want to let him go. If he starts a war with Marine or something, Jinbei will help him in turn. So facing Jinbei, Feng Yi put forward such a request, which is hardly a request in the eyes of everyone. Yes. The old man promises you that as long as your maple leaf pirates appear, I will retreat. Jinbei obviously didn't expect Feng Yi's request to be so simple. Vivi was stunned, and then nodded in agreement. Clang! Boom! At the moment when Jinbei agreed, Feng Yi pulled out the rein and do behind him, and split open the cage in front of him with one knife. Okay, you can leave. You can stay and have a drink on my boat. But I'll ask you to leave first, and I'll see who is released here. Then Feng Yi confronted him. Jinbei said, I have thanked Captain Feng Yi, I will leave now. Jinbei was stunned for a second when he heard this. He didn't expect Feng Yi's request to be so simple, but Wen Yan also knew that Feng Yi had something to do next, so let him go first, although he didn't know why Feng Yi treated him so much. However, Jinbei thanked Feng Yi and left. Then Feng Yi came to another cell, and the person in it was a big pirate that Feng Yi didn't know. Both hands and feet are also shackled by seastone's chains, and they are tied there decadently. With red hair and a weak face, he couldn't see how powerful he was. Captain Feng Yi, let me go out. After I go out, I promise not to kill in vain. I will also retreat when I encounter the Maple Leaf Pirates. The moment he saw Feng Yi, the other party's eyes flashed, and he asked Feng Yi. If Feng Yi let him go, he would also lower his posture. You can come out, as long as you promise to join the Maple Leaf Pirates. And you too. Looking at this big pirate who claimed to be Bai Yu Sha, Feng Yi heard that he was a faint Isho, and then spoke out proudly to Bai Yu Sha. Hearing Feng Yi's words, not only did they not kill for nothing, but even the other 12 great pirates all changed their colors. They knew what Feng Yi wanted, and they actually wanted them to serve each other. They all fell silent, thinking in their hearts, should they agree to each other or not, their dignity can't be slandered. Are you willing to live under others? To Feng Yi's treatment of them and Jinbei that was so different. The strong do whatever they want. Some things don't need a reason. As long as the other party is happy, there is nothing in this world that is fair. They know this better than anyone. What if I don't agree? After being silent for a while, Bai Bai did not kill, then raised his head and looked at Feng Yi asked in a low voice. Then, I'll help you out, send you to hell, and spend the rest of your life in prison. Feng Yi heard the light in his eyes, and his murderous intent came out, and then said lightly. Hearing Feng Yi's words, all the big pirates present shrank Vivi's eyes. I didn't expect Feng Yi to be so absolute, he would kill him if he didn't join. But this is also in line with the style of pirates. You all think about it, I'll give you 5 minutes to think about it. 5 minutes later, if you don't want to join the Maple Leaf Pirates, then I'll help him get out of jail. Feng Yi continued. Also, I don't need you to join my pirate group. You can create one. I only need the pirate group you created, the pirate group under my Maple Leaf Pirates. At the end, Feng Yi, who was thinking of something, said again. He may not want to let some arrogant pirates join his pirate group directly, but it would be easier to accept if they just let them lead the pirate group to join the Maple Leaf Pirates. Sure enough, after Feng Yi said these words, Feng Yi felt the heartbeat of the 4 big pirates, but he was still silent and didn't want to say it so quickly. Feng Yi took a closer look, and sure enough, it was the 4 big pirates who were subdued by Blackbeard in the original book. Sure enough, he was released because he was willing to join the Blackbeard pirates. As for the rest, they must have been killed by Blackbeard. With a black-bearded male character, there is no reason to keep the power of someone who is not his own. 5 minutes passed quickly. During this period, the mood of all the big pirates changed. Feng Yi could clearly perceive it. Vivi raised the corners of his mouth. He didn't know if it was a smile or a mocking sneer. How is it? Why not kill? What's your answer? Then Feng Yi asked Bai Yu Sha in front of him. Don't kill for nothing. Tell me, what's your answer? Then Feng Yi asked Bai Yu Sha. look at each other indifferently. Although Feng Yi already knew the answer to Bai Bu Sha, he still had to say it himself. Ha ha. Just kill Lao Su, the captain of the dignified White Dragon pirates. It is impossible for him to join the banners of other pirates. Facing Feng Yi's answer, Bai Busha raised his head and looked at Feng Yi, laughing loudly. At the same time as he spoke, his eyes shone brightly, and a powerful aura erupted from the other party during New Year's greetings, an aura of an absolute king. Absolutely unwilling to succumb to the momentum of others. Really? Okay, then I'll help you get out of this prison. Although Feng Yi already knew this was the answer, but after hearing this, Vivi couldn't help but feel lost. A big pirate, he was about to die in his own hands like this, and he was killed by himself without any resistance. No killing, no killing. Sure enough, don't kill the white, don't kill. Then he sneered twice, and the rain in Feng Yi's hand flashed a knife mark and shot out, slashing at Bai without killing. Puff. Bai Bushu, who was unable to resist, could only hang his head unwillingly in the face of Feng Yi's attack, and was beheaded by Feng Yi. Only at the last moment, Bai Bu Sha still looked at Feng Yi with an arrogant attitude, and insisted on his dignity before he died. This kind of person is respectable and should be killed. Call. Chapter 232-subdue. Seeing Feng Yi really killed Bai Bu without hesitation, the remaining 12 big pirates all felt a breath of air. If they didn't agree, it would be the same fate. Then Feng Yi came to the cage of another big pirate. This was another big pirate that Feng Yi felt was unwilling to become his pirate. You also don't want to join my pirate banner, right? Feng Yi looked at the other party, and did not look at the other party's appearance carefully, and directly asked indifferently. That's right. It's impossible for me to bow my head to a pirate other than One Piece, King of Pirates Roger. Faced with Feng Yi's questioning, that person was obviously stunned by Vivi. He didn't expect Feng Yi to know what he was thinking, but he also instantly understood that the other person might be a pirate with observation haki. After being stunned for a while, Fang Fang proudly replied to Feng Yi. Well, since you want to maintain your poor dignity, then die. Seeing the big pirate who was unwilling to change his mind after the quilt general said it, Feng Yi was also annoyed in his heart. One or two did not agree to join his pirate banner, so he would just die. Whoosh. After Feng Yi finished speaking, he slashed at the opponent with a single slash, and an astonishing slash burst out and slammed towards the opponent. Humph. However, in the face of Feng Yi's slash, the opponent did not stand still and chop Feng Yi like Bai Bu Sha just now. Instead, Vivi moved his figure quickly, and just avoided Feng Yi's slash. Boom. Then Feng Yi's slash was bombarding the wall, and the chains on the opponent's feet and behind him were cut off by Feng Yi. With two clangs, the figure of the other party was able to move away, and left the place in a flash. Haha, it's not that easy to kill someone like me. I would also like to thank you for helping me cut the chain. Although my hands are still chained, it is enough. After the other party dodged, he was facing Feng Yi haha isho, and then he rushed up to Zhao Kong Ning Bang. A steel pillar just outside the cage was also cut off by Feng Yi, so he was able to dodge out. Whoosh. The sharp leg attack, as soon as it came out, it attacked Feng Yi and kicked Feng Yi in the face. Humph. Want to die in battle? Then I'll do it for you. Feng Yi couldn't help snorting when he heard the words. He could sense the other party's emotions. He wanted to die in battle, not hacked to death by Feng Yi without any resistance. Kai. After finishing speaking, Feng Yi's figure evaded the opponent's attack in a flash, and then slashed at the opponent with his knife. Whoosh. A crimson slash condensed from Feng Yi's blade again, and then stood up against the big pirate. Haha. Okay, remember that I'm a ghost named Gigo Tuo. That Ziahaha Isho from the sea, watching Feng Yi's slash, not only did not avoid it, but instead embraced his hands. The chain in his hand was also cut off by Feng Yi's slash. As for the remaining slash, it was being shocked by the opponent. He was shocked. As expected of the big pirate Gigo Tuo with a bounty of 500 million, such a strong physical ability. That's right, he's the only strongman who didn't eat devil fruits and wasn't a swordsman, but offered a reward of 500 million Baileys. It's just his skills. It's not bad to have a free fight to enjoy. When the big pirates in other cells saw Feng Yi and Gui Tutuo's battle, Vivi couldn't help but exclaimed in amazement. The power of Gui Tutuo also surprised them Vivi, but it was only because of the reputation of Gui Tutuo. I don't eat devil fruit and I'm not a swordsman. Is there a reward of 500 million Baileys alone? No wonder they don't want to bow their heads to anyone except One Piece, King of Pirates Roger. Feng Yi heard that he couldn't help but sigh in his heart. This ghost head should be the strongest of the 12 great pirates. Only then did he take a careful look at the other party. It really matches the name of the other party's ghost head. He is actually a bald head, but his appearance is handsome and resolute. No, such a powerful subordinate must find a way to conquer it. While fighting with the opponent, Feng Yi was able to experience the strength of the opponent even more, and could not help but secretly speak out in his heart. At this time, Gui Tutuo was also shocked. He knew that Feng Yi had a bounty of 800 million yuan, and he didn't believe it. After such a fight, he completely believed in Feng Yi's strength. Originally, he was thinking if he could use Feng Yi to cut his chains to defeat Feng Yi and escape from impel down, but now it seems impossible. Then, just die in battle. Guido Tuo can only die in battle, and cannot be killed without resistance. Haha, okay, come again. Gui Tutuo is getting more and more excited as he fights. He has been imprisoned for more than 10 years, and he has not experienced the pleasure brought by fighting for a long time. Okay, Guido Tuo, right, as long as you promise to owe me 3 favors, I don't need you to join my banner. How? While fighting, Feng Yi suddenly changed his conditions to Gui Tutuo and said. Hearing this, Gui Tutuo couldn't help but be stunned. Obviously, he didn't expect Feng Yi to change the conditions. He didn't need to join the Maple Leaf Pirates. He just owed 3 favors, that is, he only needed to help Feng Yi complete the 3 entrustments. If this is the case, Gui Tutuo is very happy. After all, Feng Yi rescued him from impel down, and Feng Yi's 3 favors are nothing. It should be, as long as he does not join the Maple Leaf Pirates banner. Haha, well, if that's the case, of course I'll agree to it. Then Gui Tutuo laughed out loud. Promised. But I have been locked up for too long, and the blood of my body is boiling. Captain Feng Yi, you can fight with me, when I owe you another favor. But then Gui Tutuo said to Feng Yi that he, who was full of fighting spirit in his body, could not wait to have a fight, so he would rather use a favor in exchange for continuing the fight with Feng Yi. Anyway, I already owe 3, so the debt is too much. Dash 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 dash. Chapter 233_subdue. Haha, okay, no problem. Feng Yi also burst into blood. Hearing that, of course, haha isho, and then he fought with Gui Tutuo. Boom boom boom. The constant blasting sound was blasted out from the battle between the two, and the rest of the big pirates were terrified one by one. Several big pirates also pondered secretly in their hearts. Since Guido Tuo can exchange human favors for freedom, they also want to do the same. After all, if they don't need to join the Maple Leaf Pirates, they will still fight for it. Since Guido Tuo can do it, then they must do it too. They have even been able to forget, how did Bai Bu kill Dai just now? About half an hour later, Gui Tutuo and Feng Yi had enough fun fighting, and then they stopped, but Gui Tutuo also calmed down, knowing that Feng Yi still had to subdue the remaining big pirates, and now they can fight against each other. Just finished capturing Impel Down, it's not necessarily safe to stay here, the sooner everything is, the better. Thinking that Feng Yi was still willing to fight him for half an hour under such circumstances, Gui Tutuo was moved in his heart. This favor was bought without resentment. Feng Yi is now facing all the big pirates again. Jinbei left, Bai Bu Sha was killed by Feng Yi. Gui Tutuo was also released, so there are only 11 people left. You still tell me the answer together, should you join the Maple Leaf Pirates, or let me set you free? Feng Yi also knew that the time was tight, so he spoke directly to all the remaining big pirates, looking at them sharply. Captain Feng Yi, as long as you let me go, I'm willing to promise to owe you 3 favors. Yes, Laozi too. And me. However, after Feng Yi's words fell, the answer to Feng Yi was almost always this answer. HMPH, you are not qualified to negotiate terms with me. As far as the 2 options I just mentioned, there is no other option. Feng Yi couldn't help Vivi frown when he heard this, and then snorted coldly. The woman who screamed the most was Katerina. Knowing that the opponent's strength was the strength of an ordinary big pirate, Feng Yi was not very interested in using human affection to keep them. Why can Gui Tu Tuo be perfect? Yeah, I'd rather die then. It's. A few big pirates immediately refused to accept the words and shouted angrily. Whoosh. However, in the face of all the shouts of the big pirates, Feng Yi slashed directly at one of the pirates who was tied and unable to move. Ah, no. When the big pirate saw this, he couldn't help but scream, and then shouted in horror. Kukai won. However, the big pirate's terrified shouting stopped instantly, because in the next second, the opponent was killed by Feng Yi's slash. Ah. Seeing Feng Yi kill another big pirate like this, the rest of the big pirates screamed in shock. All of them shut up quickly, terrified in their hearts, afraid that Feng Yi would be unhappy and kill one of them again, especially yourself, you're out of luck. How? Can you tell me the answer now? After shocking everyone, Feng Yi looked at the big pirate in one of the cells and snorted, I. Hearing Feng Yi's words, the big pirate was obviously taken aback. Looking at Feng Yi's murderous look, he couldn't help but feel frightened and hesitated. Should he insist on using human favors in exchange for Feng Yi's freedom? If 3 favors are not enough, then 10 is good. Disagreeing means rejecting, so go to die. However, the other party was hesitating, but Feng Yi didn't want to wait any longer. With a cold snort, Yulu in his hand sent a slash and slashed towards the opponent. Ah, no, wait. The big pirate who knew his skills immediately screamed in anger, and hurriedly called to stop, wanting to agree to Feng Yi's conditions. Puff. However, it was already too late. On the opponent's neck, the knife mark cut by Zhao Kongming was cut accurately, and the opponent's eyes popped out all of a sudden. He opened his mouth and wanted to scream, only to find that his throat was cut open, can't make a sound, can only stare at Feng Yi with regretful eyes. If you knew it earlier, don't hesitate. Just now, you were obviously ready to promise Feng Yi like this. The other party was unwilling to think of it before he died. He originally planned to agree to Feng Yi's conditions, but he didn't expect to kill himself because of a hesitation. Katerina, where's your answer? After killing another big pirate, Feng Yi looked at Yi but not the other's body, and then asked Katerina. I agree. Seeing that the big pirate just now was beheaded by Feng Yi because of hesitation, Katerina was still hesitant, and after being surprised, she nodded and agreed. Me too. I agree too. Seeing the death of the 2 big pirates, Katerina readily agreed, and the other remaining big pirates also nodded in agreement. They didn't want to die. The 4 Katerina were the first to agree, and the remaining 5 pirates quickly nodded and agreed that they didn't want to die. Haha, this is a person, and the person who knows the current affairs is Junji. Feng Yi saw that all the big pirates agreed, that's why haha isho. He killed 2 of the 11 remaining pirates, and recruited a total of 9 pirates. Introduce yourself. Then Feng Yi quickly asked the 9 big pirates aloud. After all the 9 great pirates introduced themselves, Feng Yi knew the information of the 9 great pirates. Katerina, Shut, Wolf and Bararo Pizarro who followed Blackbeard in the 4 known originals, the rest is. Chapter 234_Power Expansion. The first one, Alexander, the former captain of the Fast Pirates, the big pirate with a bounty of 210 million Baileys. It is a high-level swordsman who looks fat and majestic, but moves extremely fast, and is also a devil fruit ability. Fast fruit. This is also the reason why his fat body can move so fast with the speed of the shot. The second, the captain of the Python pirates. Shangri-Lalan, a big blue-haired pirate, offers a reward of 190 million Baileys, for those with Python fruit ability. The third one, the captain of the canned sword pirates, Audi, is a great swordsman with a bounty of 300 million Baileys. It's not easy, because he failed to challenge Hawkeye and was arrested and imprisoned by Marine. Those who dare to challenge Hawkeye are enough to show how powerful they are. The fourth one, the captain of the Azure Dragon Pirates, Xuanyuan Wuji, has a bounty of 400 million Baileys, those with the power of the Phantom Beast, the Azure Dragon Phantom Beast. In addition to Gui Tu Tuo, the strongest big pirate inside. The strength is stronger than that of a Marine Admiral, and it was won by Kizaru and Akainu together. Kizaru. He has been able to be killed by me. Knowing that the other party was won by Kizaru and Akainu together, Feng Yi said to Xuanyuan Wuji indifferently, which immediately made him agitated, and there was nothing uncomfortable about joining the Maple Leaf Pirates. The fifth is a big pirate who is good at strategy. He is not strong enough to beat even a pirate with a bounty of 50 million, but his bounty is as high as 200 million Bailey. The vice captain of the Crazy Dragon Pirates that has been wiped out. Main Song Wu Di. When Feng Yi found out, he directly appointed Wu Di, the main song, as the counselor of all the pirate groups under Feng Yi, responsible for the action organization of all the pirates under Feng Yi. Good to match his actions. When Feng Yi took 10 big pirates out of the prison, all the pirates in the whole prison had been released. There were more than 10,000 pirates in total, and all the dozens of marine battleships were taken out. Filled with Captain Feng Yi. Captain Feng Yi. When Feng Yi appeared, all the pirates shouted, thanking Feng Yi for rescuing them from Impel Down. Do you know why I have to rescue you all? Feng Yi said indifferently to all the pirates. The voice was not loud, but it was clearly transmitted to the ears of each pirate. That's because I'm going to attack Marine's headquarters. I didn't save you in vain. I need all of you to join my Maple Leaf Pirates and attack Marine's headquarters with me. Do you dare? I, Feng Yi, will not rescue you in vain. If you don't want to, just go back to the big prison for me, or jump into the sea. What I need is the bravest pirate who has the courage to follow me to attack the Marine headquarters. Quote. Do you dare? Would you like to join the Maple Leaf Pirates? The more he said to the end, the louder Feng Yi shouted. At the same time, the ability of emotional fruit instantly affected all the pirates, making them more respectful and worshipful to Feng Yi. Yes. We do. Attack the Marine headquarters. Attack the Marine headquarters. Under the influence of Feng Yi's emotional fruits, the pirates who would not have had much objection in the first place were all boiling with enthusiasm, watching Feng Yi roar loudly. The powerful momentum shattered the sky. None of them thought that Feng Yi's ambitions and courage were so big. The 10 big pirates who followed Feng Yi saw the momentum formed by the shouting of more than 10,000 people, and their expressions changed slightly. The 10,000 pirates here are all elites among pirates. If they unite, even if they are, it is difficult for them to join forces with 10 people to take advantage. They were also frightened by Feng Yi's words, and they were going to attack the Marine headquarters. But after being surprised, they all clenched their fists, which was exciting. They wanted to attack the Marine headquarters for a long time, but they didn't have any strength, so they didn't dare. Now Feng Yi actually has such strength, and he has joined so many pirates. Anyway, they were rescued by Feng Yi and attacked the Marine headquarters. The big deal is that they failed and were captured and continued to be imprisoned, but if they succeeded, they would famous all over the sea. Famous is not what they want is revenge Marine. Gatutuo, the first favor you want to pay back is to attack the Marine headquarters with me. Do you dare? Looking at all the pirates with high enthusiasm, Feng Yi turned around and asked Gui Tu Tuo. I've done it, I've wanted to do this for a long time. And this time there are so many people, plus our 10 big pirates, and your strength, Captain Feng Yi, it's definitely not a problem to overthrow the Marine headquarters. Guido Tuo and Yan immediately roared excitedly. From the time Feng Yi subdued the other 9 pirates, he knew that a pirate who could really challenge the 4 emperors of the New World had risen. In addition to all the more than 10,000 pirates released from Impel Down, even the Whitebeard pirates, the strongest among the emperors, has no such power. Haha, good, your pirate group is going to be re-established. If you like so many pirates, I will choose 100 for you. Feng Yi immediately laughed when he heard the words, and then said to Gui Tutuo. In addition to the main Song Wudi, Alexander, the 8 of you, also choose 1,000 people to rebuild your pirate group. Then follow me to attack the marine headquarters. After finishing speaking, Feng Yi turned his head and said to Alexander and other 8 big pirates. Yes. Yes, Captain Feng Yi. Alexander and the others immediately responded with excitement. The 1,000 pirates here are much stronger than their previous subordinates. They didn't expect that the pirate group could be created again just after they came out. Jinbei was on the side, and finally understood why Feng Yi asked him to back away. He would definitely come out to stop things like this that usually provoke battles. However, he had promised Feng Yi, so he could only stand on the side, secretly praying that so many people would not die in this war. Then Gui Tutuo and the 8 big pirates under Feng Yi went to choose the pirates to form a pirate group. Of course, Nico Shang and the others were also choosing the pirates that they liked to absorb. When the rectification is complete, it is time for the Maple Leaf Pirates to attack the marine headquarters. The last 10,000 pirates released from the prison were divided into more than 20 groups, occupying more than 30 marine warships. Chapter 235_all grow. First of all, Feng Yi's earliest subordinates, Instant Kill, Michelle, and Nico Shang's 3 pirate groups, each selected nearly 1,000 pirates to join their pirate group. Added cost when attacking Annie's lobby. Even enhanced several times. There are also 8 big pirates rescued by Feng Yi from the big prison, and each has found 1,000 pirates to form their own pirate group. Just 10,000 pirates have been allocated. The 100 pirates of Guido Tuo were ignored, and the remaining tens of thousands of pirates were reorganized into 8 pirates, which were all formed by the strongest 8 pirates. It is an elite pirate with a bounty of more than 5,000 W Bailey. In this way, Feng Yi's banner now has 19 pirate groups under its banner. In fact, it is composed of one big pirate with a reward of over 100 million. This power is already unprecedentedly powerful. Entering the New World, you can already compete with the 4 emperors. It can be said that as long as Feng Yi enters the New World with all the forces, the situation of the 4 emperors will be broken in an instant. It may be the 5 emperors, or it may be reshuffled. Re-customize the 4 emperors, or fall more in battle, leaving the 3 emperors. However, all this is unknown, and only after Feng Yi has attacked the marine headquarters and entered the New World will he know. As for the Shemale King Ivankov, Feng Yi gave him a boat and took his men to leave, and Jinbei left with him. Jinbei felt uneasy if he didn't stop Feng Yi from attacking the marine headquarters, and it was even more impossible to help Feng Yi. When the mighty 19 pirate groups lined up side by side, the sky-high aura erupted from them. Every pirate group felt extremely excited. They were going to attack the marine headquarters. Absolute feat. Let's go, little ones. Target marine headquarters. Feng Yi stood on the bow of the Blood Dragon and shouted at all the pirates. The Blood Dragon was the first to set sail, going at a super fast speed. 19 Maple Leaf pirate groups and 25 pirate ships followed closely behind the Fengshuilong, and they all set sail for the marine headquarters. Ha ha. It's so cool, we're going to attack the marine headquarters. That's right, even if you get caught, you still learn. Kill. Must destroy the marine headquarters. The pirates on each pirate group roared excitedly. On the way to Hainan Airlines, every pirate group is having a party, celebrating, and arriving at the marine headquarters. There are still 2 days left. They, who haven't enjoyed big wine and big meat for a long time, of course, have a carnival first, and celebrate their release from the big prison. And after Feng Yi and the others left for a long time, dozens of marine warships came from outside. When they saw the empty Impel Down in front of them, they were all stunned. Report to Marine headquarters immediately. What? Impel Down has been captured and all the pirates have been released. When Sengoku heard the news, he couldn't help but murmured in shock. I don't know what to do for a while. Have you noticed their movements? Then Sengoku hurriedly asked, the Maple Leaf Pirates captured the big prison and released so many pirates. This is definitely a very powerful force, you must know their movements. Reporting Commander, the Maple Leaf Pirates seem to be heading towards the Marine headquarters with all the pirates. What? I actually want to attack the Marine headquarters. It turns out that the purpose of attacking the Impel Down is to gather a new pirate force and then attack the Marine headquarters. Hearing this, Sengoku's face changed dramatically, and then he murmured. After hanging up the phone bug, a series of countermeasures were immediately appointed. In less than half an hour, all Marine officers above the Lieutenant Colonel received appointments from the Marine headquarters, and all returned to the Marine headquarters. There is also Shichibukai, who also received an appointment from the Marine headquarters. They should rush to the Marine headquarters as soon as possible to support them. They must arrive before the Maple Leaf Pirates arrive, or the title of Shichibukai will be removed. Of course, Jinbei is not included, and Sengoku doesn't know if Jinbei has been released, dead or not, and Jinbei was originally locked in Impel Down, and Sengoku, who knows Jinbei's character well, knows that Jinbei has been released. Won't find him. However, after the fact, the title of Jinbei Shichibukai will definitely be exempted. This Feng Yi has grown amazingly, can you capture Impel Down already? After receiving the appointment, Hawkeye couldn't help but muttered in shock, and then went to the Marine headquarters. Feng Yi at this time has raised his infinite fighting spirit. Ah, this damn Captain Feng Yi, I'm going to take the damn Marine headquarters, don't let me catch you, or I'll definitely take your shadow. Gecko Moria, one of Shichibukai, was receiving after the appointment, he was also shocked, and then he cursed angrily. The Sea Rogue, the Bear, the Empress, of course, also received the appointment of Sengoku. Hee, Impel Down has already attacked, and the Maple Leaf Pirates are no longer afraid of their strength. Empress will bring the pirates to help my king. Queen Hee Isho said. I was very excited to know that Feng Yi had attacked Impel Down. On a marine battleship, a female officer standing on the bow is the flower of marine, Tina. She left from the Marine headquarters to support Impel Down. Report, sir, the latest appointment from the Marine headquarters. We want to return to the headquarters immediately. Feng Yu's gang has already captured Impel Down, and now they are bringing all the pirates from Impel Down to attack the Marine headquarters. Then a Marine adjutant came out, his face changed drastically and even reported to Tina with a trembling voice. What did you say? Impel Down has been captured. And the Maple Leaf Pirates are now bringing all the pirates inside to attack the Marine headquarters. Tina's face changed dramatically when she heard the words, and she asked her subordinates in disbelief. Yes, sir, this is the appointment of the commander himself. Adjutant Marine said immediately upon hearing this. Sir, it's not good, there are dozens of pirates ahead, and the Maple Leaf Pirates are the leader. What? Chapter 236_keep attacking. The Maple Leaf Pirates led all the pirates out of Impel Down right in front. Hearing the soldier's report, Tina suddenly turned pale, even more terrified than just knowing that Impel Down was captured by the Maple Leaf Pirates. Because she didn't care about her business just now, but now she has encountered it herself, and maybe it will be directly wiped out by the Maple Leaf Pirates. Quick, let's escape from here immediately and go back to Marine headquarters. After reacting, Tina immediately gave orders to the soldiers, joking. She knew very well that with the combat power of her battleship, there was no way to capture Impel Down's Maple Leaf Pirates can only compete with them by escaping, returning to the Marine headquarters and gathering all the Marines to compete. Yes, Colonel. The soldier heard the words and replied immediately. Turned around and went down. The soldier was even more frightened than Hina, of course he wanted to flee immediately. There is actually a Marine battleship blocking the front. HMPH. Feng Yi stood on top of the dragon head of the blood dragon. Of course, he immediately sensed the mood swings in the distance. Then he picked up his glasses and looked at it to see that General Marine was the unlucky one who stood in front of him. There is no difference from the above. Hey hey. It turned out to be the flower of Marine, Colonel Hina. The same Marine as Smoker. Prison fruit ability, Black Prison Hina. However, when he saw the appearance of the officers on the marine ship in the distance, Teru Kongming suddenly laughed lightly. He didn't expect that the flower of Marine, the Black Prison Hina, was blocking the front of the Maple Leaf Pirates. In Feng Yi's memory, Marine seems to be just a few beauties, Tashigi, Khalifa of CP9, and Domino and Sati who were captured by Zhao Kongming in the big prison. Apart from these few, the only beauties who make Feng Yi influential is Hina. Didn't expect to meet so soon. Hee, it seems that God wants to get all the beauties in Marine. In Feng Yi's heart, Hei Isho, who was evil and charming, then spoke out to Nami. Nami, open the garage, I'll go up and destroy that Marine myself. Hina Marine battleship that fled when it saw them from a distance, it was only possible to drive the Phantom, and the speed of the Blood Dragon could not catch up with the Marine battleship. Of course, Feng Yi can use the ability of emotional bombs to kill all the Marines on Hina's ship from a distance, so Hina still can't escape, but Feng Yi doesn't want to do this, and plans to go there in person. That's fun. Yes, my king. Although she didn't know what Feng Yi was doing, Nami did as she heard that and opened the garage on the Blood Dragon. As soon as Feng Yi's figure moved, he quickly appeared on the Phantom, and then watched the Phantom fly out of the garage in the Blood Dragon in an instant, rushing towards Hina's marine battleship. Leave a trail of waves behind. Looking at the speed of the Phantom, the pirates are undoubtedly amazed again and again. I didn't expect that there are such fast sailing tools on the Zizao Sea. As expected of the great pirate with a bounty of 800 million Bailey, even the sailing tools are so handsome and compelling. Humph. It turned out to be the beauty inside again. After seeing Hina on the marine ship through the spectacles, Nami couldn't help but let out a coquettish cry, and finally knew why Feng Yi wanted to go there by herself. It turned out that there was a beautiful woman on the other party's ship. The three marine beauties on the boat, Feng Yi, haven't eaten yet, so I'm going to add another one. Nami murmured secretly in her heart. Of course she was talking about Khalifa, Domino and Sati. But Nami knew that Feng Yi hadn't eaten them yet, not because she didn't want to, but because she didn't have time. HMPH, what about the Maple Leaf Pirates? You won't be able to catch up with this beauty if she leaves. Looking at the ship that had turned to evacuate, Hina couldn't help but smile as she stood on it. She believed in the speed of the marine battleship, and at such a long distance, she could only see through her glasses, and it was not easy for the Maple Leaf Pirates to catch up with them. Or at all impossible. Report Colonel, it's not good. Captain Feng Yi is chasing after us with his Phantom. The speed is very fast. At this speed, he will soon be able to catch up with us. However, just when Hina was secretly rejoicing, the previous marine soldier suddenly exclaimed at Hina. What? Where? Hearing this, Hina was shocked. She snatched the glasses from the soldier's hands and looked at the sea behind the marine battleship. She immediately saw a cool red shadow approaching them, and the one sitting on the Phantom was its Feng Yi. Damn! How could this be? Captain Feng Yi actually came after him. It seems that we must be destroyed. When she saw that Feng Yi Goran was really chasing after him, Hina couldn't help but scolded, and at the same time murmured a little desperately. Of course, she knew what it would mean if she was caught up by Captain Feng Yi. Their entire marine battleships must be destroyed. Quick! By bombarding with cannons, we must not let Captain Feng Yi catch up to us, otherwise we will all be finished. Then Hina hurriedly gave orders to the gunners on the boat, and only in this way could stop Feng Yi's pursuit. And it might even sink Feng Yi's ship. Yes. Lord Colonel. All the artillerymen immediately responded in a hurry after hearing the words. All of them turned the direction of their artillery, aimed at Feng Yi's Phantom, and then bombarded them again and again. Boom boom boom. At one time, a dozen cannonballs were fired together, and a dozen cannonballs immediately bombarded Feng Yi. Being able to serve as a gunner on the marine ship is still very good, and knowing that this is the only chance for them to escape, all the shells are more than half accurate and will land on Feng Yi's Phantom. Humph. Naive. Feng Yi, who drove the Phantom, couldn't help sneering when he saw the opponent's attack. Even Marine Admiral's attack couldn't help the Phantom. A few cannonballs, how could he be hurt? Feng Yi didn't even want to destroy those cannonballs, no, just slam into those shells. Boom boom boom. Immediately afterwards, all the cannonballs bombed on the Phantom that Feng Yi was riding on, and exploded. The sound of continuous sound, countless waves exploded, and all the shadowless figures were drowned for a while. Seeing the Phantom being bombarded from the front, Hina finally showed a smile on her nervous face. Chapter 237 Go ahead. Ah! How is this possible? However, when she saw Feng Yi's Phantom rushing out of the blast without anything at all, and continued chasing after them, Hina opened her lips slightly in surprise. Quick, quick, keep bombarding with cannons. After being surprised, Hina gave orders to her subordinates again and again. She couldn't believe that she couldn't stop Feng Yi. Boom boom boom. However, under the bombardment of countless artillery shells, Feng Yi's speed did not drop at all, and he directly pursued Hina's marine battleship. This sturdy scene made all the pirates excited. Their boss is so powerful, he is definitely the right boss. Damn! Get ready to fight now. Hina on the marine battleship, seeing that there was no way to stop Feng Yi's pursuit, Hina had to quickly order to all the soldiers. They wanted to escape, and then they fought to see if they could defeat Feng Yi. Maybe I can catch Captain Feng Yi with the prison fruit, maybe. Hina is also fantasizing in her heart. Although she knows that this may not be big, there is still hope. As long as she can penetrate Feng Yi's body, she can use the ability of the prison fruit to lock Feng Yi and let Feng Yi lose the ability of the devil fruit, so you can catch Captain Feng Yi. Thinking of this, Hina is very excited. If she succeeds, she will be promoted to Rear Admiral, or become a Vice Admiral. This is Hina's dream. Become a big man known to the world. Let your beauty and ability resound throughout the world at the same time. Looking at Feng Yi's arrival, in addition to being frightened, Hina also had a hint of excited expectation for a while, looking forward to being able to catch Feng Yi. Boom! In Hina's panic and anticipation, Feng Yi quickly caught up with her battleship, and leaping together means jumping up from the Phantom, and with a bang, Haki descended on Hina's battleship. Go! Looking at Feng Yi's appearance, Hina didn't say anything, and immediately ordered to speak. Kill! Hearing Hina's order, all the marine soldiers immediately shouted and rushed to Feng Yi to pay New Year's greetings. HMPH! You don't even say hello. Seeing this, Feng Yi couldn't help but snorted. The rain and dew on his back pulled out in an instant, and he slashed towards the marine soldiers rushing up. Kai! Chi chi chi! Boom! Marine soldiers who rushed to Feng Yi at the front all threw their backs and retreated. At the same time, the weapon and body in their hands were also cut in half by Feng Yi's slash. One by one, they vomited blood and fell to the ground. The dead can't die anymore. Ah! Up! Kill! Seeing that Feng Yi was so strong, all the marine soldiers screamed in horror, and then they charged at Feng Yi again in rage. Kai! When Hina saw Feng Yi's attack power, she didn't dare to neglect her. At the same time, she rushed towards Feng Yi. Marine Rokushiki, who only learned to shave one trick, immediately used her shave. Her figure disappeared in an instant, and she came to Feng Yi. Behind the back, his hands condensed the ability of emotional fruit, and plunged straight into the back of Feng Yi. As long as Feng Yi's body is penetrated by her hands, she can use the power of the prison fruit to lock Feng Yi, and at the same time seal the fruit power of Feng Yi. The handcuffs formed from her prison fruit have similar abilities to those made of sea stone. Whoosh! However, seeing that her hands were about to hit Feng Yi's back, Hina realized that Feng Yi's figure had disappeared. She didn't respond at all. Can't find it at all. You can't even catch the traces of Feng Yi's disappearance. Not good. Hina was shocked. Only then did she understand the gap between her and Feng Yi. One was a big pirate comparable to the 4 emperors, and he was just a colonel. It's okay to deal with a pirate with a bounty of tens of millions, but it is already reluctant to deal with a bounty of over 100 million. It is obviously impossible to deal with a big pirate like Feng Yi with a bounty of 800 million. She has the ability of prison fruit and can lock Feng Yi, but the problem requires her to be fast enough to reach the other party. Chi chi chi. Puff puff puff. Then Hina saw that Feng Yi's disappearing figure reappeared, but instead of attacking her, he cut down all her subordinates. All of them were ruthless, and none of them could get up after falling. In just a few seconds, all her subordinates were dead. Had already recognized the strength gap between herself and Feng Yi, and seeing the scene in front of her, Hina had already forgotten to react, and stood there dumbfounded, watching Feng Yi take out all her subordinates. Kill them all. Colonel Marine. Hina. Feng Yi killed all the Marine soldiers. He turned to look back at Hina and said proudly. The flower of Marine in front of her. Hina was indeed worthy of the name of the flower of Marine. She had an exquisite and charming face, a tall S-shaped figure, a tall jade girl peak, and a slender twine. Legs, come from a sexy stunner. Although the figure is not hot enough, it is definitely full of criminal impulses. Especially the arrogant Marine temperament on her body makes people want to conquer her. You, what do you want? It wasn't until Feng Yi asked, that Hina came back to her senses. Looking at Feng Yi, she couldn't help but scream in horror, and her tender body stepped back. Hey, what do you think? I'm a pirate, you're Marine, of course I either killed you or captured you. Which one do you want? For the sake of your beauty, you can choose for yourself. Seeing Hina's terrified look, Feng Yi couldn't help laughing softly. At this time, Hina was so arrogant in front of him, just like a frightened little girl. Yet still charming. Hearing Feng's words, Hina's delicate body couldn't help Vivi's trembling. Feng Yi was right. Pirates and Marine were originally hostile, but she didn't want to die, and she was unwilling to be captured. She knew that she was captured. What it means, then her status in Marine will completely disappear, and she can only obey Feng Yi in the future, even if it is some excessive demands, she can't object. This is not her will. It seems that you are unwilling to become the captive of this king. Well, I will fulfill you and let you sacrifice for Marine. Seeing Hina's hesitant look, Feng Yi couldn't help sneering in his heart, then pointed the tip of the knife at Hina, and said lightly and proudly. The face of Feng Yi's threat, Hina had no choice. She didn't want to be killed by Feng Yi. She had to bow her head and admit defeat, choosing to become Feng Yi's captive. Chapter 238 Attack the Marine Headquarters. Hina only hopes that Feng Yi will be eliminated or captured by Marine in the next attack on Marine Headquarters, and it's okay to fight back. This is the only hope for her to be rescued again. And a day after Hina was also brought back to the Blood Dragon by Feng Yi, the forces of the Maple Leaf Pirates finally arrived not far from the Marine Headquarters. Humph, it really gathered a lot of people. Who could sense the mood swings of everyone above the Marine Headquarters from a distance, couldn't help but chuckle in his heart. He sensed the mood swings of a lot of powerhouses, Garp, Hawkeye, Akainu and Kuzan, all of them were there, and there were quite a few with their breaths, even the Empress was among them. Because he was worried about the safety of the Empress, Feng Yi didn't directly answer the Empress's phone and asked about the powerhouses gathered in the Marine Headquarters now. However, Feng Yi doesn't need to know. In his opinion, even if Sengoku has gathered the combat power he fought against Whitebeard in the original book, he is not without the ability to contend now. The most important thing is that his strength is soaring all the time. Especially the ability of emotional fruit, the world vibration caused by his movements, the emotional fluctuations generated by the world, are fueling his emotional fruit ability every moment. Quantitative changes lead to qualitative changes, Feng Yi has already felt himself. The ability of emotional fruit is not far from the level of transformation and advanced to control. Feng Yi believes that no matter whether he can destroy the Marine headquarters this time, the emotional fluctuations of the world are enough to advance his emotional fruit ability to the highest level. I am afraid that he will be able to destroy the entire Marine headquarters by himself. Except for One Piece, King of Pirates Roger, no one has ever used the power of Devil Fruit to the highest level. The Marine headquarters is ahead. HMPH, the king is here. Seeing the shadow of the Marine headquarters through the glasses, Feng Yi couldn't help laughing softly, full of a taste of dominance in the world, just to destroy your Marine headquarters. In addition to Feng Yi, all the pirates at this time were also full of excitement. All of them slept well after the carnival, and then waited for the next battle. Looking at the figure of Feng Yi standing on the head of the blood dragon, they are full of confidence in this action. That is a pirate with a bounty of 800 million, and not only captured Enies Lobby, but also captured Impel Down. More than 90% of them were rescued by Feng Yi from Impel Down. Based on these two achievements, they have enough reasons to believe that Feng Yi can also wipe out the Marine headquarters. Even if it can't, at least it can cause the Marine headquarters to suffer heavy losses, and this is enough to follow Feng Yi to attack the Marine headquarters, and they are famous all over the world. Are you here? At this time, on the Marine headquarters, after the battle knew that the forces of the Maple Leaf Pirates were approaching, he also let out a long sigh. What should come is always here. In fact, Sengoku doesn't have much confidence in the next battle, but now Sengoku, who has gathered all the Marine elites in the Marine headquarters, still has a certain confidence that he can defeat Feng Yi. The order goes on. As soon as the Maple Leaf Pirates enter the firing range, they will give me a savage shelling. It must be within the firing range, and the opponent's combat power will suffer a heavy loss. Then Sengoku's eyes flashed brightly, and he ordered Marine seriously. Yes, Master. The Marine immediately responded respectfully when he heard the words, and then went down. To Admiral, plus the Old Man and the Old Man Garp, there are 500 Vice Admiral, more than 2,000 Rear Admiral, more than 3,000 Majors, 20,000 elite soldiers, and 5 of the Shichibukai under the king. The Old Man will I can't believe that under this power, Marine headquarters can be destroyed by a new pirate group. Watching Marine go down, Sengoku then murmured. And even the 2 adults from the Gorosei, 5 elders have rushed over. Maybe they can kill the kid Feng Yi here. Captain Feng Yi, absolutely can't stay. Sengoku murmured a little excitedly, then put on Marine's clothes and walked outside. Welcome to the next battle. Boom boom boom. When Feng Yi and his ships were a certain distance away from the Marine headquarters, countless cannonballs resounded, and countless cannonballs burst at Feng Yi and their ships. The appetizers are finally here. Brothers, give Lao Su a fierce fight back. Seeing this, Feng Yi couldn't help laughing, and then shouted to all the pirates. Yes. Boss Feng Yi. Hearing Feng Yi's words, all the pirates couldn't help but come out in unison, and all the artillerymen were already in place. Hearing the words, they immediately attacked the Marine headquarters, and countless shells also bombarded the Marine headquarters. The guns on their battleships are exactly the same as those on the Marine headquarters, and the range is the same. When the other party is calling, they can of course fight back. Boom boom boom. Burst into the Marine headquarters with countless shells. Boom boom boom. The densely packed shells were bombarded on both sides, and of course they would collide and explode in the middle. Under the chain blasting, all the shells exploded in the middle in the first round of bombardment, and the waves in the middle were directly blown up by more than 10 meters. The heights come. Then it crashed down and swayed on both sides. But it was only the first round. What followed was continuous shelling. All the shells no longer exploded in the middle, and each landed on the opponent's position. Boom. One Marine was killed, and many pirates were also killed. However, it only appears on some pirate ships without big pirates sitting on them. For example, Feng Yi and the others have big pirates sitting on pirates, and the cannonballs can't bomb their ships at all. When all the ships of the Maple Leaf Pirates entered the port of Marine headquarters, there were only more than 30 pirate ships left of the original 50 ships. Kill. After arriving at the port, Feng Yi's powerful haki radiated out, and then shouted angrily. The Marines in the Marine headquarters are all elites, and he can't display emotional fruits from a long distance, but now he can. Chapter 239-Strong Attack. Blast me. Boom boom boom. After Feng Yi's words fell, countless blasting sounds resounded. Those elite Marines, the more than 8,000 elite Marines left in the shelling blasting, all blasted open during the New Year's greetings, turning into blood in the sky. The fog exploded. Ah! How is it possible? Seeing such a scene, Sengoku, all the Marines, and Hawkeye, all widened their eyes and stared at the scene in surprise. In just an instant, tens of thousands of Marine elites died like this. This is too domineering. What kind of fruit ability is this? Kill. Facing the extremely tragic scene in front of him, the fighting eyes suddenly turned red, almost screaming, and all the elite pirates died tragically at once. This is not a loss he can afford at all. Shocked and never imagined that such a scene would happen. Kill. Kill. Regarding Sengoku's order, those who were left at the Marine Gate where the youngest was the colonel had no fear at all. Some were just anger, the anger of the slaughter of their companions, and the entire Feng Yi pirates rushed forward. These all are masters. It's impossible for Feng Yi to use emotional bombs to kill them. Ha ha. Kill, kill. The face of all the Marines screaming and killing, all the pirates not only did not panic, but laughed and attacked. Feng Yi just gave them a blow, and the effect it brought to them was stronger than a stimulant. Seeing so many Marine deaths, it was simply spectacular for them, a feeling of joy flowed in their hearts, and Marine finally became the slaughtering existence of their pirates. The war was about to break out, and it entered the white hot in an instant. Nami meets Kuzan, Shiger meets Akainu. As for Feng Yi, I found Hawkeye. Ha ha, Hawkeye, now this king is avenging you for chasing this king last time. Looking at Eagle Eye, Feng Yi couldn't help laughing excitedly. The last time he was killed by Eagle Eye and escaped, Feng Yi was always annoyed. Now that he finally has the strength to defeat Eagle Eye, it's no wonder that Feng Yi is not excited. Humph, come on. Night Slash. Facing the strong Feng Yi, Hawkeye also felt the pressure and coercion. He couldn't help snorting coldly, and then he took the initiative to attack Feng Yi. Boom. It was just Hawkeye's slash that was caught by Feng Yi at once, and he blocked it lightly. How is it possible? Looking at Feng Yi who just waved the rain and dew to wipe out his slash, Hawkeye couldn't help but stare at Feng Yi in disbelief. This kind of strength is too strong. Hawkeye finally looked at Feng Yi, and always thought that Feng Yi could destroy any's lobby and impel down just because of the ability of emotional fruit, but now it seems wrong. Feng Yi's kendo has also entered the ranks of great swordsmen, and still a great swordsman who can compete with him. Surprised. It's still early, I'll let you know how powerful this king is. Looking at Hawkeye's surprised look, Feng Yi couldn't help laughing isho, furious. Then Feng Yi gave a low drink, and instantly entered a state of rage. His aura instantly doubled, and so did his ability. 500 consecutive cuts a year. The wrath of the angry god. Ferocious slash. After entering the violent state, Feng Yi slashed towards Hawkeye, and the slashes that were enough to destroy the sky and the earth hugged Hawkeye, smashing the obstacles of the air, making the space become when the torque rises. The two great swordsmen only see the battle, and they will not use the sword realm anymore, because that is a waste of breath. In the face of a great swordsman of the same level, the sword realm is useless. Emperor of the Night. Black Knife World. Facing Feng Yi's attack, Hawkeye's face instantly became undoubtedly solemn, and then he attacked Feng Yi's attack again and again. Boom boom boom. For a while, between Feng Yi and Hawkeye, countless slashes exploded, and the slashes broke out in riots, cutting the ground into strips before long and deep. When Feng Yi and Hawkeye were fighting together, the battles in other places were also hot, and the most tragic was the battle between the colonel level and those pirates. Almost every second someone was dying, whether it was Marine. It was a pirate, and the whole ground was stained red with blood. Under the constant reign of Nami, Kuzan can only use his energy to freeze Nami's rain into ice, and he is completely unable to deal with other enemies. As for Xiu fighting Akainu, there is a certain danger, but after Feng Yi summoned an angry body of Akainu to help Xiu fight, Xiu came down safely. At this time, Sengoku also showed his magical beast fruit ability, incarnated as a war Buddha, and fought fiercely with Gigo Tuo. The sea rogue Gecko Moria and the others were also picked up by a big pirate, fighting together. Seeing the Maple Leaf Pirates' powerful attack on Marine, several Shichibukai were secretly shocked. They didn't expect the Maple Leaf Pirates to be so powerful. They were already thinking proudly in their hearts, are they looking for an opportunity to escape? Because they are here, the number of strong people is not as many as Marine's. This Feng Yi has risen too fast and too strong. While surprised, they were also envious, jealous and hateful towards Feng Yi. Destruction of the Furious God. When they were envious of the Bureau and jealous of Feng Yi at this time also displayed the strongest ultimate move against Hawkeye. The angry god only destroyed, completely destroyed, and cut out with one move, in front of Hawkeye. There was only a sword light coming, a powerful slash that cut the space into two halves. It's impossible. Watching Feng Yi's slashing cut open the space, and seeing the dark and chaotic space emerging inside, Hawkeye couldn't help but scream out in shock, this kind of attack, he can't stop it. Puff. However, Feng Yi's slashing speed was too fast, so fast that Hawkeye could only block it with a horizontal knife. However, the result was that the eagle eye was connected to the blade body, and was cut by Feng Yi's slashing attack, puff. A shocking pillar of blood burst out from Hawkeye's body. The world's largest swordsman, with his eyes widened, collapsed and was killed by Feng Yi's strongest slash. The supreme and sharp knife in his hand, Hei Yi, was also cut off by Feng Yi along with Eagle Eye. Hawkeye is dead. How is it possible? Chapter 240 Season Finale. Seeing Hawkeye being beheaded by Feng Yi, Sengoku Akainu and the rest of Shichibukai were all horrified. Fear bomb, explode. Boom. Boom, boom. With Hawkeye being beheaded by the seal, the bears in Shichibukai, Gecko Moria and Akainu, were also bombarded to death by Feng Yi's emotional bomb ability. Aromatic legs. Boom. When all Marine was frightened, a coquettish shout sounded in High Rogue's ears, and then one of High Rogue's shoulders was kicked into pieces by the Empress, and the petrified shattered. Empress, what are you doing? High Hooligan, who was shocked by Feng Yi's powerful town, was completely unaware of the Empress' attack, and was seriously injured, and immediately turned back and shouted at the Empress. Only the hooligan High was furious, but Sengoku and the others also looked at the Empress in fury. They didn't expect the Empress to attack their own people at this time. Giggle, Empress forgot to tell you, Feng Yi is the new king of Empress 9 Snake Island, how could Empress help you to deal with my king? Seeing everyone's astonishment, the Empress couldn't help giggling at them. At this time, Feng Yi had no need to keep her secret, and to follow Feng Yi against her, even if she pretended, the Empress couldn't pretend. Going down, she wants to help Feng Yi and destroy all these Marines. High Rogue's eyes widened, and he didn't expect the Empress to be Feng Yi's person. 9 Snake Island is also sealed. Looking at the Queen in horror. Go to hell, Empress sends you. Looking at the frightened High Rogue, the Empress clucked Isho again and attacked him. The High Rogue who was seriously injured was not the Queen's opponent at all, and soon died under the Queen's fragrant legs. The body was petrified and shattered. For a while, Shichibukai died in battle except for Jinbei, who had not come for a long time, and the Empress. They were all killed by the Maple Leaf Pirates. Ha ha, Kuzan, you should die for this king too. Angry God slash. Rage bomb. Seeing that the Empress killed the hooligan High, Feng Yi couldn't help laughing out loud. He looked at Admiral Kuzan, the only remaining member of Marine's forces. He laughed loudly and slashed at the same time, and at the same time, the emotional bomb was released at the same time. Damn. Seeing Feng Yi's attack, Kuzan immediately scolded and felt the anger in his body rising wildly, and immediately panicked, knowing that if he didn't suppress it, he would be bombed to death later. Suppress me, ah! Kuzan screamed in anger in his heart, and at the same time suppressed his anger as much as possible. Puff! Boom! It's just that Kuzan suppressed Feng Yi's emotional bomb, but he couldn't resist Feng Yi's slash, and was smashed open by Feng Yi's slash, and his figure turned into ice slag to dodge. Rain! Seeing Kuzan's body becoming elemental, Nami didn't miss such a good opportunity. Now Kuzan can't freeze all her rainfall, so let's pour it down. Chi chi chi. Countless seawater and rain fell on the ice slag of Kuzan's incarnation. Kuzan's figure appeared immediately, and at the same time he lost the ability of emotional fruit. Damn! Kuzan screamed in anger. Thunder! However, facing Kuzan, it was Nami's successive attacks. Boom boom boom. Countless powerful lightning strikes, under Nami's control, slashed violently on Kuzan, who lost his fruit ability. Chi chi chi. Acid and alkali were touched. Kuzan's body was completely charred black, and a puff of black smoke came out of his mouth, and he fell to the ground with a bang, and was killed by Nami. Ah! Feng Yi, this old man is going to kill you. Sengoku, who finally beheaded Gitotuo, saw that all the admirals were dead, Shichibukai was also dead, the empress betrayed, and could not help roaring at Feng Yi, and the huge body of the Buddha attacked Feng Yi. On! It's a pity to kill Guitutuo. Feng Yi saw Sengoku attacking, he couldn't help but sigh in his heart. He didn't expect Gitotuo to be killed by Sengoku. Sengoku is really not easy. Damn brat. You killed so many marine soldiers, and 3 admiral, Shichibukai, damn. I can't let you go today. When Sengoku rushed to Feng Yi, 2 angry shouts also resounded behind Feng Yi. It's Lord Gorosei, 5 elders. Hearing the 2 voices, Sengoku immediately exclaimed in surprise. Unexpectedly the 2 Gorosei, 5 elders finally arrived at this time. How is it possible? However, Feng Yi looked back at the 2 Gorosei, 5 elders in surprise. He couldn't perceive their mood swings at all. Also didn't know the arrival of the 2 Gorosei, 5 elders. That is the strength of every Gorosei, 5 elders, not under him. Seeing the arrival of the Gorosei, 5 elders, all the marines and the pirates were also shocked. I didn't expect the Gorosei, 5 elders to appear too. And they are still standing in the void, and the powerful momentum oppresses them as if they can't breathe. Whizzing. 2 Gorosei, 5 elders looked at the tragic situation of the marine headquarters, and they were already burning with anger. They didn't talk nonsense with Feng Yi at all, and rushed towards Feng Yi bang, each launching a powerful attack. Boom boom boom. Feng Yi quickly blocked it, but the figure was constantly blasted away. Destruction of the Furious God. 1,500 furious slashes. Feng Yi fought back again and again at the same time, but was resolved by 2 Gorosei, 5 elders. Feng Yi was really surprised. I didn't expect Gorosei, 5 elders to be so powerful. As expected, it is the Gorosei, 5 elders who rose after the former chief abdicated. Die. Little devil, it's just that you are too arrogant and don't take the world government seriously. The 2 Gorosei, 5 elders each spoke out, and then attacked Feng Yi. 2 powerful attacks slammed into Feng Yi. Feng Yi only felt that his whole body was restrained, he couldn't move, and he couldn't help being terrified. Am I going to die here? Feng Yi never imagined that such a change would occur. Gorosei, 5 elders turned out to be so powerful. Boom. However, just when Feng Yi was unwilling, Feng Yi only felt that his consciousness exploded in the universe, and the ability of emotional fruit, at this moment, actually advanced to the highest level, the realm of control. Ha ha. It's you who died. End of the book.